my god, Tangent's gonna shut him down. It's a double kill for Jim.
Oh my god, Jim!
Looking pretty good. It's gonna be a triple kill. Jim comes on fire. Jim comes on fire.
Angle, but couldn't land the shot. The dark scope, the two-piece! Oh my god!
Cada equipo ahí contesta trató de darle ese carpetazo ahí, consigue una pelota y rápido se voltea y se pone ataque na marotagem.
He's gonna be able to take out. Oh my god! Oh no! He was down to 1 second on the clock.
Já pegou bala na cara do Master. O Almairinho vai tentando fazer o primeiro. Da estátua vai tentar o tiro porrada e bomba! Vem! Clutch muito difícil de vencer, mas...
Square on the body that you hit. He no-scoped Raballo right there. He no-scoped.
Termina eliminando a Jackie, igual queda solamente positivo por parte de repente, consigue la primera baja de este round, se da cuenta que no puede
What is good, everybody? We are here with the quarterfinals Mobile Mayhem. The season finally coming to a close. We are joined by the one and only Denomine as we are getting ready to hop in. Oh my gosh, the beard's gone. He like just gave me his face cam, so I'm just now having time to like actually register what's happening. But oh my goodness.
Hey chat, you and Bobby can figure it out together.
All right, would you look at that? Obviously, the format looking a little bit different, but the prize pool also looking a little different as well, thanks to Fnatic and OnePlus Prize pool has actually been increased to $4,000 for this season of Mobile Mayhem, on top of the fact that we also have $500 on the line for the All-Star game as well. So lots of things to look forward to. Lots of great matchups, obviously, ahead tonight as well. We will go ahead and take a look at the bracket so you get an idea of what we're looking at right now. But as you guys are going to see, tonight is the quarterfinals, so only 2 matchups. I believe they will both be best of 5. Due to what happened last week with Cygnus Black going up against Vitro, they are going to DQ Game 1. So we'll immediately start in Hardpoint with Nova Invictus with a 1-0 lead. It will be Cygnus Black versus Nova Invictus for that first matchup. Second matchup is going to be Team 11T up against Trovo Mayhem. Obviously, it's the quarterfinals. Obviously, you're going to have great matchups. And obviously, on Thursday, more amazing matchups as well, as Tribe will face the winner of Cygnus Black and Nova Invictus. And Cygnus will face the winner of 11T versus Trovo Mayhem. So, Day, as far as the games tonight, which one are you looking forward to the most?
Based on the lobby we have going right now, I'm already more excited for the Trovo Mayhem versus 11T matchup. Looks like Nova may still be struggling with some of their roster, so definitely something to keep in mind. We do have Coach Image in the lobby. We have seen Invictus play quite well, however, even with having the coach on the team. In fact, almost winning several matchups that we didn't expect to even be close in those circumstances. So definitely something to keep an eye on as we move forward. If this ends up being the team they play with, I mean, it could, they could still swap out at any time. We've still got a little bit of time here. But another thing to keep in mind is, like you mentioned, we have no hard point to start things off. We're going to be jumping right into Search and Destroy on Standoff. And that is going to be, again, due to the DQ from Cygnus Black on Thursday of last week. So Invictus will at least go into this matchup up a game. But I would think that overall Trovo Mayhem versus 11T should just be a really intense matchup between those two teams. Trovo Mayhem has been playing better and better with the likes of Leon on the team. So we'll have to see what their starting roster is going to look like today. As well as 11T has had a little bit of a struggle on, is Wiru a starter? Is he not a starter? Is he going to be here today? Are we not going to see him for weeks? It's kind of hard to say until we really see what lineups we're going to get. But, again, not looking super great currently for Nova.
Yep. I think we should, I just realized we're going to have a different maps and bans page because it is best of 5. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Obviously, I said earlier we were going to be starting in Hardpoint. We always start in Hardpoint. We're going to be starting in Search and Destroy, which is what we are looking at right here. So as far as the weapon bans go, bans the PP19, the QQ9, that's pretty much become the standard for just about every match we're going to play. Sometimes teams will ban something different, but anytime they do, it's typically going to be a surprise. As far as the map bans, Cygnus Black banning Hardpoint on Firing Range and also banning Domination over on Hackney Yard. Nova Invictus banning Search and Destroy on Raid and Domination on Summit. So obviously there's a much higher chance that we'll actually have a game of Domination. By a higher chance, I mean it's guaranteed we're going to have Domination because it's best of 5 rather than best of 3. So not as surprising to see that. But also, you're more likely to you're more likely to play more Hardpoint in Search and Destroy games. So we'll see if it ends up going to it. Like you mentioned, we do have Coach Image loaded in for Nova Invictus. So those roster issues continuing to persist. And obviously, no disrespect to him. I'm sure he's a great coach, but typically coaches do best in the role that they're put in, and that is coaching. So we'll have to see if the other team can pull that extra weight. But up against a team like Cygnus Black, which even following a merge mid-season has completely dominated the majority of their competition, and even with Nova Invictus getting a 1-game head start in this match, I just have a hard time seeing them winning enough games to actually come away with a victory here.
Yeah, definitely not a team you can sleep on, specifically with the likes of Fish and Washi being picked up by this roster. However, we don't have Fish here today, so I think that is something important to make note of. Obviously, they've got Washi and Bear here together that are both phenomenal players, but I think a lot of this Zygnus roster's success has not only been how good of a player Washi is and how good of a player Fish is, it's kind of the package deal of them of how well they play together. So that is maybe a little bit of a saving grace for Nova, but again, going into the quarterfinals, playing with your coach against a team like Zygnus Black with the likes of Bear, Teabag, Washi 5, and Raven, that's going to be an uphill battle the whole time.
Yeah, definitely not going to be anything easy. We do have a lot of news coming out about esports for COD Mobile in general. We have the announcement of, I believe, a $20,000 tournament that's going to be happening for North America and Latin America. That's going to be, I think it's coming up this weekend. So I'm excited to see what goes down in that. Yeah, I believe the 22nd and the 23rd. That one's definitely going to be fun to watch. On top of the announcement for the official rules for COD M Champs, and also some of the awards that I had the opportunity to work with COD Mobile on. So lots of big things coming up as we do move closer and closer to the start of Stage 1 of Champs. That is going to be on June 3rd. So starting then, you'll be able to earn some of those rewards. And obviously, a lot of these teams are going to be solidifying their rosters and everything else. Nova Invictus, definitely one of those teams that you expect to have a relatively... Oh, it's NA and EU, not NA and South America. Yep, you're right. I should have known that. Referring to the $20,000 tournament this weekend. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Nova Invictus, I believe previously came in 3rd in North America, and I would say this roster is a lot more solid than the roster they had at that point in time. So I'm hoping to see big things from them, but they're definitely going to need to pick up a solid 4th or 5th that they can really count on, because just consistently having to have your coach as one of your starting players is just not going to work well, especially heading into a $2 million tournament.
Yeah, definitely something I'd like to see out of Nova is that consistency of a roster. I mean, they've, again, even with Coach Image on the team, the rest of the team around him has really had spectacular performances. I mean, again, we've seen them win games that we didn't really necessarily expect, and we've seen them be very close in games that we didn't really expect. So it is hard to say. Their strongest suit in general tends to be hardpoint, so that is something to keep in mind, that while they get the free win in hardpoint for game one being a hardpoint takes potentially a good opportunity away from them at a different spot, as opposed to if we started off with like a domination or a search and destroy. So some of that will definitely play a little bit of a factor as we move forward. Again, I think overall I just flat out will give Zygnus Black the edge here. But again, you can't really sleep on Invictus, because when you start sleeping on Invictus is when they start to shine.
Yep. Just waiting for one more player to ready up, and we should... Oh, 2 players to ready up, and we should be good to go. As far as the starting roster for Zygnus right now, we do have Washi, which is definitely expected. We do have the absence of Fish, who's been one of the top, if not the best players on the team. He was, I believe, MVP, Rookie of the Split, and Marksman of the Split, all in the same season last season, and has definitely maintained that level of gameplay throughout the majority of this season. We do have everybody ready up, so he should be good to go now, but we'll see whether or not his absence is felt significantly. Everybody is here, and we are good to go for game number 1. Well, technically game number 2 because the DQ, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a cushion for Nova that they have that game 1 win, but again, playing with your coach in the quarterfinals is certainly not an ideal situation to be in. A couple times here and there during the season when your team is pretty much already locked into a quarterfinal spot, okay, whatever, not a big deal, but this is do or die. This is, you lose here, you're out, and there's definitely some prize money on the board. There's some bragging rights ahead of us, so starting off in Search and Destroy definitely going to be something maybe a little bit less comfortable for some of these teams.
Yep, that was a strong start right there, I believe, for Zygnus, as they do get the early 1-0 victory. 2 players left alive, and it's Washi and 5 both finding a 2-piece off the start right there. Obviously, Washi's always going to be one of the fun people to watch in Search and Destroy. Ever since his entry into Mobile Mayhem with 8 Kings the last season, he has been making crazy plays. Very nearly slides into a nade right there. Fortunately, was able to dodge it. We get a little bit of lag right there, but it doesn't stop him from hitting the shot, and that's another one going in for Bear. A 2-piece for Bear. It's going to be a 2v2 right here. Raven and Desi trying to make their way on over, but Raven's going to drop. Washi stuck by himself, but he finds Coach Image over top of the head glitch on Truck, and that's going to put him now into a 1v1 right here, seeing if he can give his team the 2-0 lead off the start. Desi's going to round the corner back there, but he doesn't have the sniper out. Not going to be able to hit it. Big clutch up for Desi right there, and Nova Invictus will now tie things at 1-1.
That was a giant carry by Desi. He's been one of my players to watch on the side of Nova, and he comes out here right in the opening gate with 4 kills already. So tied up with Washi here in the second round, and that is a big start for them. Now, kind of one of the benefits of, or that Nova have here, Bobby, is I know we've talked about it quite a bit before, but Search and Destroy is kind of that mode where the underdog really has a lot of potential to win, and that is something we're going to have to keep an eye out for here. Currently, it doesn't look like, I don't think we have a sniper at all on the side of Nova, so that is definitely something to consider, especially as a lot of mid is quite often open to sniper presence. Coach Image actually picking up the kill on Washi. I mean,
what a flank.
Coach Image has done his job for the day.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge flank right there. Definitely did not expect to see him over on that backside.
Second fragging on the team.
Yeah, he's just going to sit back, collect. Oh! He's not just collecting information. He's collecting himself another frag right there. Nova Invictus now taking the 2-1 lead. Keep in mind, Zygnus Black forfeiting, or rather DQing game number 1, so they're already down 1-0. And with the way that Coach Image is playing right now, seems to have solidified their Search and Destroy strategies a little bit more. They're looking like they're off to a pretty hot start here as well.
I mean, there definitely might be a little bit of, I almost want to call it, like, I don't want to be mean and make it sound like fluke luck, but there's definitely a way to describe how Coach Image got a couple kills, and it's more so he just was in the right place at the right time, whereas not pushing as aggressive as a lot of the pro players do might have forced him into a little bit more unfavorable of a gunfight. So him playing a little bit back those first couple rounds was able to secure them a couple kills, maybe being in a spot that, you know, for example, Washi sliding around by Broken wasn't really expecting Coach Image to be up around the back of the map, and that was a huge pick for them. I mean, Coach Image has 4 kills, Desi has 5, and the rest of the team is at 2 and 1. So big performance out of the coach here currently.
Yeah, I guess he got a 2-piece last round, didn't he? Even though they didn't win the round. Wow. More big plays for him. Parrish is there to find 1. Trades going in. Envy takes out Washi. Trades really every way possible right now. Zygnus Black now in a 2v2. Raven yet to pick up a kill right now, and that's a little bit surprising from him. Typically one of the more consistent players on this team. Band has a nade right next to him. I don't think he took any damage from that. I don't really know how that's possible, but it definitely worked out in favor of Nova Invictus right there, as they're now going to take the 3-2 lead. Raven still seeing a lot of those struggles, while the rest of the team is pretty consistent across the board for Nova Invictus. And we are going to go ahead and flip sides. That's going to put Zygnus Black over on the defensive, and it looks like Nova is going to play this one pretty passive. Envy holding down tank right now. Nobody coming through courtyard. Zygnus Black content for them to make the first move. We do see 5 sliding across. He's on the head glitch. He's not going to be able to save him. Washi trying to find somebody crossing in through there, but the timing just isn't there. He sees Band over on the side. Oh, not able to hit the quick scope. It looked like he had it lined up, but just wasn't able to make it happen. Gonna miss the wall bangs there as well, and it's now gonna be a 3v3 right here with the bomb plant going down. Raven's finally been able to find that frag. Pressure is on.
Fragging.
Do what?
Coach Image is top fragging.
Coach Image is top frag. Wow. I think that's 3 rounds in a row that he's gotten 2 kills. I might be mistaken on that. And 2 crucial kills come in, and Washi just makes the last one look like absolutely nothing as Coach Image does drop right there. But for Nova Invictus, we have Coach Image, the coach, top fragging for the team. He's got 6 kills on the board right now, and he has 100% keeping them in this game as we are tied up at 3-3.
Yeah, Coach Image definitely looking to take Zim's spot as best coach / player in North America. So he's making a pretty big statement of it right now. 6 kills on the board. We've had a 1-for-1 trade so far this round. Band for Bear. We'll have to see who ends up having technically won the better of that trade as this round does progress. Both of those players have 4 kills on the board. Washi currently leading all players with 8. And we are now in the second half. We do have Nova on attack. We do have the bomb planted at A. A couple kills coming through for them. This is likely going to be a 4-3 lead for them as we move on. And again, offense is really where the underdog team can have a bit of an advantage. So Nova keeping things either neutral or in their favor the first half is really big for them. And if they're able to pick up a win, which again, they're up 4-3 currently and on offense, they could potentially go into game 3 of this matchup with a 2-0 lead with their coach playing for them.
Guess who had the last kill of the round?
Mr. Coach Image.
Mr. Coach Image. Oh my gosh, what a time to show up. I'm not gonna lie, this gives me IAC vibes, but it was actually Slothy playing on IAC's account. Not that I'm accusing Nova of having a player playing on the coach's account, but my gosh.
If you're watching his play, it is way slower than any of the pros.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's just got the right timing and
yeah.
everything, and things are working out because he knows the angles he needs to be watching. He's gonna find Raven right there, not able to hit the shots, but I mean, sometimes you're in the right place at the right time, and sometimes you're in the right place at the right time 7 times in a row. And that's what's been happening for Coach Image right now is 2 Zygnus Black players gonna drop once again. Washi trying to find something from spawn side. He's gonna head on over to Barrel, but they are perfectly hiding on the inside. Nobody peeking from over by hay bales. Time is dwindling. They're down 2 men right now. They're finally going to peek across. Band is going to get first blood. Oh, Washi slides through, hits another one right there. He needs to make a miracle happen, but he misses the shot. It looks like today is not the day. Band's going to slide on through, and despite the 10 kills going in for Washi, a 5-3 lead for Nova Invictus, who could very well move this to a 2-0 lead and be 1 game away from closing things out.
Yeah, which would be really big for the side of Nova Invictus. Again, we expected them coming into this to be kind of at a hindrance, right?
What? I don't.
How?
Did you see that angle?
Yeah. What? How?
He just threaded the needle through like the pole and the sign that was hanging down. He nearly hit Band there as well. Oh my gosh, an absolute must-have first blood right there for Zygnus Black. No surprise in the hands of Washi finding it. I think Coach Image is just crouch walking up towards Statue right now. He's just sitting back, playing his angles. He knows what his team needs him to do. And right now, the pressure's on for Band. They need for him to find a snipe right here to really open things up and allow them to be able to push. But it looks like Zygnus Black is very content to sit back, play it passive. And that's definitely going to give them the time advantage. Band's going to get spotted, not going to be able to hit the snipe. Washi drops Coach Image right there. And that's going to be, oh, with Desi getting Raven, still only a 1-man advantage. Now it's a 2-man advantage. And Band going to get spotted, takes 1 shot. Washi hits another right there. 13 kills on the board. Washi hard carrying Nova, or Zygnus Black right now as he's trying to keep them alive.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a pretty intense game all game long. Nova definitely more in it than I expected them to be. So, I'm excited that it's at least turning out to be a good game overall. So, Nova still one round away from potentially pushing this to a 2-0 lead, and Band with a big 2-for-1 trade may have opened it up, especially with one of those picks being on to Washi, who's really been kind of mega carrying here for Zygnus. 13 kills for Washi. Desi finds number 10 onto 5 there, and this looks like Nova potentially going up the 2-1 or 2-0 lead here. Coach Image, perfect, just in the right spot at the right time,
but
is going to pick up the kill there. But now it is a 1v1, and you have to imagine, even though Coach Image has an extra kill, you imagine Bear has the better skill here. But Coach Image with the ginormous clutch. What a champion Coach Image is.
Oh my gosh. Who else to clutch up the round? Exactly what they needed. He played the angles, made the rotation early, was there to get the frag on the diffuser. And that's going to be Nova Invictus taking the 2-0 lead over Zygnus Black.
Coming into this game, I would have said that Zygnus Black, even with both teams having their full roster, would have had the edge in Search and Destroy. Coach Image 9 kills on the board. I mean, that was a nutty game for him. And then it's not even like he was playing super aggressive. It's just there was a lot of in the right place at the right time. Played really passive, and I think a lot of players just really walked into him, and it gave him a lot of opportunity to shine. Especially there at the end, I believe it was a Fennec he picked up and was able to make that rotation over. And I'm missing, I don't remember what gun it was off the top of my head, but he was able to make that rotation over on Bear, who, even if Bear would have put the bomb down and won the gunfight at that point, I don't know if he would have had time to get the defuse. So Coach Image just played it really well, slow walked around and clutched it up.
Yeah, I was definitely not expecting to see that, but definitely some crucial plays for Coach Image. The one thing you got to be thinking right now, it's going to be a lot tougher for him to make a big impact in Respawn than it is for Search and Destroy. So if you're Zygnus, or if you are Nova Invictus, what do you need to do right now to make sure that you can maintain this? Or even just try to, at this point, I guess all you technically got to do is survive and hope you win the Search and Destroy. But with that being said, what are the odds Coach Image gets another 9-kill game in Search and Destroy?
I mean, so we potentially could go to a final game. And I don't think there's a lot of potential for Nova to get the win in Domination. Domination is going to be much more teamwork dependent than even a hard point. Just based off of the fact that you have the static points, static objectives, as opposed to hardpoint, which is dynamic and is moving around. In hardpoint, he can kind of tuck himself in a corner and just play the point man. And the rest of his team, who excels at hardpoint, can really fill that Slayer role. And he might not have to have as many gunfights if he's tucked away in a corner on point, and the rest of Nova are able to defend. That strategy won't really work as well in Domination. I mean, you can have them camp out a flag, but it's not going to help you with that B push, and B specifically, obviously going to be the most crucial point in Domination. So I'm going to chalk it up as I'm certain Zygnus Black are going to come through together with the Domination win here. Where we go into match 4 and it's hard point, that's where it's going to be a little bit more of an area where Nova can maybe make their, not really comeback, since obviously they're ahead, but can have that opportunity where, again, they can tuck someone on point, and the rest of the team can try to excel in the slaying department as they have previously. Because again, we've seen them win or be very close to winning hardpoint games with Coach Image on the team, who had dropped mad negative numbers based off of the rest of the team's performance, where the whole team has put up 40 kills at a time. So that hardpoint will be on Hackney Yard. And if we make it to Search and Destroy, that'll be finishing on Tunisia. But we are getting ready to jump into domination on raid, and I think the best bet here for Nova Invictus is if you can get an early B cap and stick Coach Image in one of the window rooms overlooking B, maybe that can be your defense where he just has to get a kill here and there. But I would say overall the coordination and teamwork out of Zygnus is likely going to come through with the victory here.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Domination's probably going to be the mode that they have the most trouble getting him to play effectively in, just because there's so many constant moving pieces, like you said. And not that there's not that in Hardpoint, but in Hardpoint, having that one person that plays objective is something that you can have where it's not necessarily as impactful if he's not getting kills in the surrounding area. But in order to be able to effectively play the objective in Domination, you've got to be actually getting those frags as well. So we are hopping into game number 3 right here. Envy's going to get spotted by Teabag across, not able to get the opening frag. It is Nova Invictus getting some progress right here, and it looks like you said, they might be able to make this early push on in. Coach Image going to throw the nade up top. Not going to be able to take out 5, but they are able to get control of B right there. Ban's going to get eliminated. Desi's going to get a frag right there. Barely able to save it. A huge double kill over onto B. And it looks like right now Nova Invictus is doing everything that they need to give themselves a chance at closing this out in 3 games.
And just because I see a lot of people asking in chat, there are several people answering, but the questions still seem to be flooding in. Zygnus Black are down 2-0 currently because of the DQ on Thursday's games of last week. They, all players involved have to miss a map, so they were unable to form a roster for the hardpoint that would have started off this series. So that's why they went down 1-0 before the series even started. And then Nova was able to win the Search and Destroy thanks to, honestly, a just great performance. More than you could have ever asked out of Coach Image, honestly.
Yep. And it is going to be the double cap maintained right here. Desi having a solid game so far. He's picking up 8 and almost gets taken out by 5, but he's going to be able to reload right there. Holds down the head glitch, but too many solid shots from 5 going to allow them to secure that ring control. But you got to keep in mind, Coach Image is there, and he's lurking. Only been able to pick up 2 kills so far, but right now it's all about the map control. He's roaming. He is going to get taken out, but banned with a big 2-piece once again. And it seems like right as Zygnus Black has gotten a good push together, they get some people over by B, a big 2-piece comes in for either Desi or Band. Somebody on the team coming out right when they need them to, and they've been able to find some really crucial flags to allow them to continue to build this lead. It looks like they're actually going to go for the triple cap right now, and they're going to be able to get it as Band's going to spot Bear coming through the smoke right there, going to be able to get a frag. Almost escaped as well. And we now have a triple cap in play, despite only 2 kills on the board for Coach Image right now. Zygnus trying to make something happy. Desi's going to slide on through, finds another kill. It's finally going to be the 8 cap going into play for Zygnus Black, but really late in the game, and with the way that this one's going right now, they're going to need a crazy turnaround in order to give themselves a shot, because they have just not really had any type of map control for the entire duration of the game.
This is certainly rough. Again, Coach Image down at 3 kills, not really having a giant impact so far on this game. Has picked themselves up a couple assists, but with Nova being able to hold down B for a majority of this game is what has really developed this over 40-point lead at this point. You have Coach Image picking up a kill onto 5 there before dropping to Teabag, who now trying to make that rotation up and over to B. Does end up back by C flag, looking for the C cap. I think at this point he was just looking to cushion any amount of points that he can, but I don't even know if it's gonna get a cap in before the game ends.
Oh my gosh.
That's a 100 to 51 lead going in for Nova. I'm like absolutely dumbfounded right now, because I would have expected Zygnus to leave one person behind, go for that early B counter push, and they gave up a lot of progress to Nova early, and once you're trying to peek those corners to a team that's already set up at B, it's pretty easy to get lasered right off the bat. And that's what we saw a lot in that last round. So as you see, Zygnus actually with a much more aggressive counter push towards B this time around are going to get the B cap early on. The gun skill wins there, coming through strong for them. And it's going to be a long second half if Zygnus is able to hold B the entire time, but they were only down 49 points going into the second half, so they only need to maintain a double cap for the majority of the upcoming time to technically make the comeback. There's 4 minutes on the board, and a C cap almost coming through from the side of Nova, but it does look like Zygnus are going to get the clear out there, and now it's Nova trying to make some progress on B, unable to get the lockdown, and Envy very, very low in the backline over there after picking up 1 kill, but not enough for them to make the break. And that 49 point lead starting to dwindle a little bit, but we've got some big progress from Nova on B right now.
Wow.
Barely surviving. They're going to get that cap, and this is detrimental to Zygnus here. They need B back, and they need it fast.
That was a massive gunfight for Band right there. I don't know how he was able to win that one. Desi is going to get taken out in top laundry. He's got 23 kills on the board right now. And really, like, if you look at the scoreboard, with the exception of Coach Image, everybody on Nova is having a really solid game. So it's not just that they're keeping up with Zygnus, but you got 5, Teabag, and Washi all down at 10 kills or less. Meanwhile, everybody on Nova Invictus, with the exception of Coach Image, that 15 plus, they are just on point with their gunfights, on point with their rotations. They're holding the control points, and right now, it just looks like they're the better team. Even, I'm not going to call it a 4v5 because Coach Image is really not having a bad game at all. We've seen hardpoint games where he's only gotten 4 kills, so for him to have 7 this early, definitely not bad at all. I think we see him using tactician concussion nades right there. And it is going to be the B cap going into play for Zygnus, but it's very nearly at the point where they need to get a triple cap. It might actually be at the point where they need to get a triple cap in order to win right here. And with the way that Nova Invictus has been playing, winning their gunfights and everything else, I don't know that Zygnus Black has enough time to make up with this unless they get an immediate triple cap.
Yeah, it's not a great spot to be in again. They needed to hold B right off the bat, and with them allowing Nova to get that pickup is looking pretty detrimental. The B cap almost coming through for Nova, and they still have a double cap on A and C, so pretty strong position for Nova to be in. Even though it was only brief, they were able to deny a double cap once again for the side of Zygnus, who has retaken A, has B in control, but they, I think at this point, need the C cap for probably like 20 seconds at this point. Not a comfortable spot to be in. You get the C cap, but the A cap is coming through pretty.
Band is still there. Band is still there. Envy's there as well. They're going to be able to get the A flag back. I think a lot of it now is going to start to come down to time. Even when you get those tiny little spurts where Zygnus is able to hold a triple cap, they've really got to be able to hold it to make the comeback happen. They've only got a minute in order to close a 30-point gap right now, and that is not a lot of time at all. With only a double cap in play, you're just not going to be closing enough of the gap in order to get the win. So I would have said coming into this, even if there had been a full starting roster for Nova Invictus, Zygnus Black probably still would have been the favorite to win. Obviously, you do have to take into account the one-game DQ at the start, but right now, even with their coach playing, Nova Invictus just looks like the better team. They get the B flag back. That secures the game 100%. They clear off A right there. There's not going to be enough time for Zygnus to turn this around. Even if they get the triple cap this instant, I don't think there's enough time, and that is going to be a shocking series number 1. I didn't really expect Nova Invictus to win, even with the one-game advantage, but for them to come in and immediately close this out in the first 3 games, just an absolutely phenomenal performance out of them.
Yeah, that was giant. I mean, as soon as they won as soon as they won the search and destroy, we were at worst case scenario guaranteed a game 5 if Zygnus made the comeback. But I mean, Zygnus coming into this matchup again, you thought, we thought that, search and destroy was going to be Zygnus's mode. We thought that domination would be Zygnus. We thought that, maybe Nova stands the chance in the hardpoint based on their previous hardpoint performances, but these weren't even really super close wins either. I mean, the search and destroy was obviously pretty close, 6-4, but it didn't feel like Nova were struggling, right? It felt like even the rounds that Zygnus won, they weren't really convincing. And then coming through in domination here, the 100 to 49 point lead for Nova going into the second half was huge.
Apparently it wouldn't have even mattered because
Zygnus used an RSD card.
Yep. Oh no! I mean, obviously Nova Invictus won anyway, but there was Zygnus played a shock RC. We've tried to tell the players over and over and over again, just use the care package. All you got to do is use the care package, and they still leave the shock RC cars on. If you're Zygnus, I guess you can have that to fall back on and maybe make yourself feel a little bit better. But Nova Invictus won it fair and square either way. So that's wow. I mean that 100% seals the deal.
Yeah, it was certainly a interesting one to say the least. I mean, again, I don't think anybody would have expected coming into today that Nova. Well, one, I felt like they would have had the lesser chance to win as soon as we saw Coach Image in the lobby. But for them to just get the 3-0 sweep it's got me honestly pretty speechless. They will face off against Tribe next, and I don't know if I believe Invictus to somehow manage to scrape by so easily against Tribe, but that'll be one of our Thursday matches. So that's Invictus came through big here. I mean, again, a lot of it had to do with Coach Image. 9 kills in search and destroy as the coach, and again, not even like he was playing questionably or super aggressive and just winning gunfights. Just right place, right time, playing slow around the outskirts of the map, was able to pick up kills where a lot of players I just don't think expected someone to be, and it worked out really well for them.
Yeah. Big credit to Band on that one. The OBJ man, 15 flag caps. I mean, oh my, and that it's actually crazy the difference in the number of flag caps, because if you look at Raven and Teabag, they had 4 flag caps apiece. Now, obviously, some of that just depends on timing and everything else, but to have 11 more flag caps than a couple people on the other team, kind of feels like Nova Invictus just wanted it more. Straight up, it didn't really feel like we got a full effort out of Zygnus Black right there. Maybe it was because of the DQ in Game 1. Typically, you would expect that to be extra motivation for teams, but that is a huge win for Nova Invictus. And that means they are going to be moving on in our bracket. Taking a look right here, their next matchup is going to be Tribe Gaming. And based on what the rosters are looking like right now, I really hope that Coach Image brings his A game on Thursday, because it's one thing to take down Zygnus Black, but trying to take down Tribe Gaming in a 3-game series without a 1-game advantage, that's going to be a completely different story.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Nova I thought this would have been a tough matchup for them in the first place, but again, going up against Tribe on Thursday, not probably the most comfortable position for them to be in. But I mean, if they're going to play like this, if they're going to play like they did today, there's definitely a chance. You definitely have to give them credit. They came in, as you mentioned, it just felt like Nova wanted it more today. And we definitely had some big names on the side of Zygnus that normally are one of the top fraggers, one of the heavy carries that, Washi showed up in the search and destroy. Washi put up, 13 kills in search and destroy?
Yep.
But then came into the domination 15 and 23. Not what we really expect out of him. So we'll definitely have to see what Zygnus brings to the table, what Zygnus Black, or even just these players individually, depending on how roster shifts go between seasons. But there's definitely great talent on the side of Zygnus Black that I'd love to see come back for a follow-up season. So.
Yep. Sorry, I was distracted, guys. I was posting the unboxing video, so you guys probably noticed I'm wearing the super sick COD Mobile Retro hoodie to go along with the Rambo/Die Hard event. Everything that's happening in Call of Duty Mobile right now, in all the Call of Duties, actually. This is the first event that we've had that it has spanned across all the games in existence right now. So we got Cold War, we got Warzone, we got Call of Duty Mobile, all getting the same event at the same time. Also, if you didn't check out my Twitter and my Instagram, COD Mobile sent me a super sick poster that is like a combo movie poster / meme-tage. So definitely make sure to check it out. Big shout out to them for sending it over. And Chicao with the 5,000 elixir. Good lord. That is going to lead us into game number 2 of the night. It is going to be 11T versus Trovo Mayhem. And I'm definitely expecting for this game to go longer than 3. These are 2 teams that have improved a lot over the season, especially Trovo Mayhem. We do have, I believe this has been their go-to roster, or technically their starting roster. So we got Molly, Tectonic, Little B, Nero, and Leon. Ever since these 5 has started playing together, they have improved massively, especially the addition of Nero and Leon to the starting lineup, I feel like has really put them over the top. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up against 11T, who had, I believe, a game 1 DQ in our last matchup because the players didn't show up on time. Am I remembering that correctly?
11T versus Tribe last week. Yeah, I think they offered to just take the forfeit on the match 1, and they almost played a 4v5 in match 2, and then just happened to have a 5th player show up like at the cutoff time.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what they bring together here. I think we do have both our community and our player voting awards. So if you want to pick one or the other to run through, Bobby, we can do one of those today, and then we can do one on Thursday as well.
I would say...
Also, we have an interview.
Oh, we do have an interview? Oh!
Yes.
Well, if that's the case, then let me go ahead. Oh, it's a 2-part interview. Bruh! Okay. Sorry, I did not have that part of Discord pulled up. Okay. Let's run the whole award segment and download.
I think there's some massive disrespect in both of the sniper and the split, both the player voting and the community voting.
Okay, we'll do the community voting first because that doesn't mean anything. I'm not gonna say it doesn't mean anything, but there's nothing that comes from it. So we'll go ahead and do the community voting. Let's see. I'll take rookie of the split first. So coming in at 3rd place, we've got Sleepyhead from Exiled with 78 votes. In 2nd place, we got 11T, Diego with 95 votes. And in 1st place, I would say definitely well-deserved, from Shreddit, Justabot with 127 votes. You can take Sniper.
Yeah, for Sniper of the split, I feel like there's quite a bit of disrespect to our boy Little B here in 3rd place with 51 votes. We do have Bolu coming in 2nd place for Tribe with 86 votes. And 2, I think nobody's surprised. We do have Washi in 1st place for Sniper of the split from Zygnus Black with 124 votes.
Oh, the MVP voting. Okay. All right. Next up, we got the MVP voting. No disrespect to anybody here. In 3rd place, we got Wiru with 24 votes. Wiru, I feel like this just hasn't been his season, so I'm a little bit surprised to see him in 3rd place right there.
He has the highest search and destroy KDA out of anybody.
Okay. I mean,
so that is something to definitely consider.
Yeah. Then in 2nd place, I think he deserved to get 1st place, and obviously this is not the official voting, this is the community voting. We have S-Thug from Zygnus Esports with 111 votes. And then 1st place, definitely has had a great season, don't get me wrong. Bolu from Tribe with 124 votes up at the top. and I believe we actually have an interview with him. So we'll go ahead.
With all the meta changes, and we're kind of in the middle of submachine guns coming back.
I accidentally started the old interview. 1 second. Now we got the interview with Bolu, part 1, and I guess we'll do part 2 after one of the games in between, or maybe at the end. Who knows? Guess we'll see.
For today's Mobile Mayhem interview, we've got Bolu from Tribe. He's arguably the best in-game leader in the world and the most popular requested person for the interview. So we finally got him on here. Thanks for joining us, man.
A pleasure. Pleasure to be out here.
So I bring that up in-game, arguably the best in-game leader in the world. Yeah. There's some pretty decent stats to suggest that.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
We've got the winning North America champs last year, and all of the Mobile Mayhem victories up to this point. Yeah, I think you've got the best record in competitive COD Mobile right now.
Yeah, I'm going to also include the last 24 tournaments we won in a row. So gotta include that as well.
That's some strong evidence.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
Flex right there.
We're gonna try and get a peek inside what's going on that's driving some of that success. But so let's start at the beginning though. How old were you, and what were some of the first video games you played?
Probably the first console game I played was Modern Warfare 3, then Black Ops 1, but I never really played to the point where I was playing maybe like 3 or 4 hours a day. I never had time to play because I was focusing on tennis. So, but those are the first games I picked up and knew about, or like just random App Store games, So nothing really. Yeah. So to basically answer the question, maybe when I was 14 or 13. Yeah.
And did you play any of those competitively, or was it mostly casual yourself online with some friends?
Just with some friends, with my older brother, and that's it. No competitive until maybe when I was 17.
What game was that?
Bullet Force on the App Store. That was my first very competitive game where I actually started competing in tournaments. But
so competitive really started for you with mobile gaming.
Yeah, mobile gaming. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah, basically.
That's a surprisingly common story with competitive mobile players. What made you switch from primarily console to primarily mobile?
Well, I think it all started when one day I was at the tennis academy, and I literally was like sitting on a lunch break, and I downloaded an app called Bullet Force, and I started playing it, and like I got addicted to it, and then one day someone was like, "Oh man, you're pretty good, join this Discord." I'm like, "Okay," and I basically took off from there. But I never really played competitive on console. Consoles maybe only like I didn't really play too much. Like honestly, I don't even count that. Like I just fully started from mobile, and that's about it.
Yeah,
so that's like my story.
What? So you're a pretty competitive tennis player?
I was
back
then, not anymore.
Main sport growing up.
Yeah, main sport growing up. Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's interesting that you said you were on a lunch break or on a break at the tennis academy and downloaded the mobile game, because I think a lot of what drives people to mobile gaming is having a busy life, being out, and it's either the combination of being busy and out and about, being involved in other stuff, or just the lack of access to console or PC are like the two primary reasons people get into mobile gaming. So once you started playing competitively there,
because when you're traveling. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I said, when you're traveling a lot, you don't have a console. So what you have is your phone or an iPad, and then you can't really take a console with you because you need like a TV. So that's why having a phone and iPad is more practical to play on than a console if you're traveling around the world or the country or wherever.
Yeah, I think that's huge, and I think that's also one of the reasons why mobile gaming is growing so quickly. Now that the devices can handle complex games like COD Mobile and immersive games like that, people that travel around a lot realize they can play a lot more if they're on something they can bring with them.
Yeah, I agree.
So what mobile games did you play before COD Mobile? Was it just you said Bullet Force?
So first game I played competitive was Bullet Force, and then I moved on to a game called Forward Assault, and then I moved on to a game called Standoff 2, and then I played PUBG Mobile, and then I went to COD. So
did you play competitively in PUBG Mobile?
I played all of them competitively.
Okay, that's a pretty deep roster of games there.
Yeah, so take all those games and put that into COD. So he was all like game sense,
Yeah, I think that's a huge factor, man. That's a huge factor. Deep experience really matters.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe that's why I made good calls because I was basically in-game leader for all those games. So I basically used all the experience from that game and put it into COD. You know, no hesitation and no nerves, you can say.
Yeah, that's significant. I think, you know, one of the I even saw you comment on Twitter after a team in CDL got just rolled in their hardpoint, and somebody asked you what you would tell them, and the answer, well, I mean, what was your answer to that?
I was just like, tell the team relax and win the S&D.
Yeah, that.
And it did happen, so I was right. But you know, that's what you want to do with your team. Is if you get smoked the first map, calm everyone down. Be like, dude, right. It's the past. You got to focus on the present, you know, and you move on.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I think some of the most successful people out there, one of their biggest and strongest abilities is to not dwell on that immediate past or you know, kind of be held back by that, and that's huge. That's a huge factor as an in-game leader role.
Because I remember back in old tribe, we used to get smoked back on the phones against iPads. We were smoked every time. Like, oh my god! Like, I know people watching the chat that will see this. Like, y'all remember when we got like smoked like 150-0? Like, but think about it. Like, I was like, guys, like, just relax. You know, focus on the next game. You don't want to dwell on the past. You can dwell on it after we lose. You know, so once you lose, then you can get mad, but not in the middle of the series. You know, you don't want to be like, oh my god, how did we lose that? And like start like complaining on each other. That's not the way to go, you know. Yeah,
absolutely.
You want to keep the mentality positive.
And that's the only way to build and keep any momentum, especially if you start to have good results. One of the most interesting questions we got, or answers we got from Marshy, is you guys' tribes scrim and practice schedule. He described it as we go in raw, but
it's the truth.
I mean, some of that's probably not by choice, just having difficulty finding scrim partners, right?
For me, I think it doesn't matter how much you practice. Maybe a little bit of practice is good, but there's so many tournaments nowadays that instead of scrimming, you can just play tournaments, and there's a different mindset between tournaments and scrims. For me, like, I have my team, like, I'm like, guys, like, we don't have to scrim, just focus on tournaments. You know, we'll scrim once in a while after we play a tournament, but maybe there's only been, the last time we scrimmed properly was maybe 2 weeks ago. So, and that was for maybe 2 maps and that's it. But my mentality is, you know, if you only play tournaments, then you'll go into tournaments with a tournament mindset and not a scrim mindset. You know, you'll practice as a team and you'll perform better under pressure.
Yeah, that's the closer you can resemble that practice to game day, the better. And you know, there's no better way to have it look like a big tournament than to play one of the other available tournaments out there.
All right. Well, that is it for part 1 of the interview with Bolu. We do have all of our players loaded in, which means we should be good to go for game number 1. It is going to be 11T up against Trovo Mayhem. Taking a look at the maps and bans real quick. No surprise, see a ban, the QQ9, the PP19. As far as the map bans, Domination on Hackney Yard. That's going to be a go-to for a lot of these teams just because it does have a very distinct strong side. And I think that's one thing that a lot of teams are going to try to prevent. So, not surprised to see that. We got Search and Destroy on Meltdown ban for 11T as well. And Hardpoint of both Domination and Raid banned by Trovo Mayhem. So that's going to lead us to Firing Range Hardpoint for game number 1, Tunisia Search and Destroy game number 2, Standoff Domination game 3. If we go to a game 4, it'll be Summit Hardpoint. And if we go to a game 5, it will be Raid Search and Destroy.
Definitely going to be a fun one between these two teams. I mean, leading into today, I thought this was going to be the better matchup. And the reason I thought that is because I thought Nova and Victus were probably going to get slapped in the first matchup. That obviously didn't happen, but at the same time, we didn't really see a lot out of Zygnus Black. So, still not a great matchup, just not a great matchup in the way I expected it to be. I would definitely expect this one to be pretty back and forth. I think Trovo Mayhem are, across the board, a pretty solid team in all of the game modes. And 11T, again, you could say the same. They're pretty strong in all game modes, but they specifically shine in Search and Destroy, which will be our second match of this series, as well as the 5th match of this series if we make it that far.
They need you to slide over.
They need me to slide over. That is on me. Sorry, guys, but I slowed us down this time.
All good. For those of you who were interested in keeping along in what's happening in the NBA, the Hornets are getting destroyed. So that's fun. And now I'm not as sad to be casting Call of Duty Mobile. So we got all of our players loaded in, good to go for game number 1 right here. Lots of bragging rights, but also lots of money on the line, partnering with Fnatic and OnePlus to add an extra $1,500 into that prize pool. Definitely a nice chunk of change for any one of these teams. Wow, what a spray by Just through the smoke right there. Gets the first blood, almost finds Wiru right there as well, but he's going to need to find a reload. Tectonic holding down that mid-truck area. He's going to get spotted out, takes a couple shots, but is able to win a gunfight. That's actually a triple feed going in for Trovo Mayhem. That's going to give them control of the point off the start as they do take the lead and move upward right here. Leon slides up. Beautiful shots with the HVK. It's going to be Yuji hopping up into tower. I don't know if Leon spotted that, but they're going to need to get him out ASAP or he is going to be causing absolute havoc for 11T.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be the case so far. Again, both of these teams pretty strong teams overall. I don't really think either of them has a massive edge in the respawns. Definitely would expect, again, the search and destroy probably much more in favor of 11T. Just having Wiru here, who I believe still has. I'm a little behind in my KDAs. It's been a busy week at work, but so far with as updated as it is, he has a pretty sizable margin of top KDA in search and destroy, sitting at around, I think, 2.36. The next closest, I think, is 1.71. So wow. That's a big jump. You have a lot of players that are in the, 1.7 down to like the 1.3 range that we consider to be just good players. So Wiru's up there.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, I give the edge to 11T. Overall, Yuji has been a solid player for them, pretty consistent overall. But right now, it's Zai and Danny Gogu up at 8 and 9 kills, leading the team, and Little B actually leading the team on Trovo Mayhem, and Tectonic struggling down currently at 4. Not something we normally see out of him, but still plenty of time left in this game. I believe, saw him struggle in one of the games early on last week as well, but it very, very quickly turned around as he just became a one-man army. So we'll be keeping an eye out as this game progresses. Only 1 point between these two teams as we move into P3.
Oh my gosh, what was that spawn? Little B literally just had Wiru spawn inches away from him on the back of firing range. I would have lost my mind. Unless I missed, maybe I didn't see that and he was sitting there the whole time. For Little B, that's got to be infuriating. He's having himself a good game, like we mentioned. 12 kills on the board right now. It is going to be Nero sliding in, getting 1 frag on the point, but 11D still there holding things down. Just going to be able to get another one right there and a sizable lead. Starting to build right here for 11T as they move up to 26 points up right now. Players sending in left and right for Trovo Mayhem, but they just haven't been able to get those frags on the inside of the hard point, and this has been a really solid hold for 11T so far, as we do now have Trovo Mayhem looking to rotate on over. They're going to go ahead and set up for next, and wow, what a beam from Yuji onto Leon. Definitely a crucial one right there, and it looks like they've already got a shot at pushing in and getting the break onto P4.
Definitely looks to be the case so far, and what was a very even game on P3 quickly became a lead over to 11T. They're sitting up about 50, but we do have Trovo Mayhem first on point for P4. Man, pretty quickly 11T are able to clear it out. Nero doing everything he can, picks up a double kill. Little B finds Danny Gogu as well. So it will be a slight hold still coming through from the side of Trovo Mayhem. As I say that, we have a slight break for the side of 11T, who are looking to extend their lead, currently sitting up about 50 points. So pretty solid on them so far. And But again, you would expect 11P to have the better record or consistency based on record for Search and Destroy, but still anybody's game for Hardpoint, and still a pretty good lead for 11T, but they're not a whole Hardpoint ahead, so it can't be a super ideal spot to be in. But as we are making our rotation back to P1, we do not have any usable score streaks for either of these teams. I see side of Trovo Mayhem has pretty much across the board entirely opted to the care package strat. But we have a lot of RC cars equipped on the side of 11P, so definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm actually a little concerned here. I think Just did have a RC, and now he doesn't have one, so I don't know. We may have to watch that back. But with 15 kills on the board, you expect him to have one by now. It's pretty low score streak, so.
Wow. Yuji, oh my gosh. What a feed right there. That was crucial for 11T. And I was about to say that there hasn't been a massive kill disparity. His audio must be really freaking good, as he knew exactly where to look on that one as well. Little B gonna go ahead and slide it. Oh, turns onto Danny Gogu. Definitely a clutch kill for them. I think one thing that has made for a struggle for Trovo Mayhem so far, as Little B is able to pick up one right there, is they haven't really grouped up for a lot of team fights so far, and that has accounted for a lot of the points that they've lost, because coming into this one, and even right now, you got Little B top frag. They're not down that far in regards to the actual kills, but a lot of it has been them trying to push in one player at a time and not being able to get any significant holds or breaks. So we've seen the 60-point lead form as Trovo Mayhem tries to get a push in once again. Little B gets shut down. Tectonic gets shut down. And they've just really not been able to find anything right here, as they're really struggling to get any of the breaks once 11E gets inside the hill.
I think this might be a good time to jump into a listen-in, and with how 11T are playing right now, it might be a good idea to appease the LATAM community and see if we can get a listen-in with those guys.
All right.
Los sumo, güey, los sumo que tengan.
Rota. Uno larga, ¿eh? Uno larga.
Larga a la izquierda.
Están baños.
Mato larga. Uno más en trailer,
Tocado baños.
Abajo.
Aparecen baños.
Muerto.
Hay una punta más, güey. Baños, muerto.
Next, ya.
Baños, hay.
Hay uno baño.
Aguanten.
Dos en punto.
Baño.
Una bala. Atrás de la madera.
Hagan pre-fire.
Muertos. Venga, tranquis.
Me hizo pre-fire, güey. La verga.
Están en baños, no tienen baños, güey.
Bueno.
Mira, si no podemos sacar eso, güey. Sí, no podemos.
Tengo baños.
Ey, atrás, Dani. Por Camos.
Muerto uno en trailer. Por más como muerto, papá.
Un tiro en punto.
Bueno.
Fuck. Ya, next.
Atrás, aparecieron
Vamos.
baños. Atrás de ahí.
Well, it looks like the listening was the bad luck charm for 11D, because as soon as we went to that, it was basically an immediate 60-point hold for Trovo Mayhem, as they were able to do what we said for the most part they hadn't been able to do all game long, and that was hold the hard point. So they were able to play that one super well. We do have a contest on the hard point right now. Little B wins another gunfight, nearly has a two-piece right there. Tectonic holding things down, gets wallbanged by Zai. Still got E-Molly on the point right here. Weir's going to slide on through, wins a huge gunfight for them. Leon has been a monster so far for Trovo Mayhem. 31 kills on the board alongside Little B with that 29. And right now, Trovo Mayhem trying to finish off the comeback. We got 11D players constantly marching up from firing range. They're winning their gunfights, but just not quite enough gunfights to actually get a push in right here. Zai's going to get a clutch two-piece, and this might actually finally be the break for 11T. It is going to be that. Little B taking the shots on the inside, not able to get the kill. And 11T going to be able to regain a tiny bit of that lead as we get ready to rotate back on over to P1.
Tiny bit of the lead, but it's definitely not the comfortable 70, 80 points they were sitting up not too long ago. They lead by about 25 currently, or 24 currently. And it does look like we are getting ready to rotate back to P1, so this is definitely one that is a little bit kind of harder to maintain. Just, I know I've talked about it before, there's a lot of respawns that are either very quickly in sight of the B flag and you're able to defend that way, as well as pretty much no matter where you spawn on this map, there's a pretty big opportunity to plant a grenade right onto mid. So definitely be keeping an eye out, as we do have Levity just is up top looking to help the team defend. Still have about a 20-point lead by the side of Levity, but it is starting to dwindle away down to about 12 points between these two teams right now. Just seems perfectly content with just keeping Trovo Mayhem off of the point, not trying to get any time for himself. And I think this is the right call by Trovo Mayhem. They are starting to push over to next and look for their points there, hopefully to get some trickle at the beginning. Tectonic with a big double kill, almost a triple kill there. But Danny Gogu is going to pick that one up, and what was looking good for Trovo Mayhem is quickly a feed for the side of Levity. Danny Gogu, 31 kills on the board. Not really sure we've seen him pop off like this yet this season, but overall, both teams really strong back and forth in this game, and proving to be the better of the two matchups as predicted. So I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, this P2 has really proven to be the kryptonite for Trovo Mayhem so far. They've been really good on all the other hard points, but it seems like just about every time we get over here, it seems like it's a full 60 for Levity. And I don't know, it's very possible that it's just Levity is that good at this hard point, but my gosh, Trovo Mayhem just hasn't been able to make anything happen, constantly getting beamed on the outside. And we see another huge triple, maybe even a quad going in for Levity right there, as Yuji is up to 44 kills on the board. Big time top fragging at the right time, and we see 4 players stacked on next right here for Levity. They've only got to hold it for 11 seconds. They said, we don't need any strategy, just throw bodies on the hill, get your frags, anything else doesn't matter. And if I had to guess, this is likely going to be the end of game 1 for Levity right here. Yuji finds the clutch 2-piece to close it out. 47 kills for him, and it's going to be Levity taking game 1.
Big game for Levity there. It was starting to look like Trovo Mayhem could make the comeback, but Levity, again, as you mentioned, that inner hard point on, oh boy, what is that, P2? Just a really strong point for them overall, so definitely something to look forward to. Obviously, we gave the edge to Levity for Search and Destroy. But, I mean, we gave the edge to Zygnus Black for Search and Destroy and for Domination, and we already saw the, I guess you could call it a upset there, so definitely a lot of potential for Trovo Mayhem to still come back here, as well as Levity. You have to imagine they're going to be looking to close things out, but it's definitely a great series so far. I mean, I can't complain.
Yeah.
Not a bit.
I mean, up until the rotation back to P2, that was a super close one. And then I don't know what it is for Trovo Mayhem. I think a lot of it does come down to they just don't try to push as a team. I think one big mistake they made is nobody ever pushed through side window. They were only coming through the doorways. And I think they definitely could have caught Levity off guard had they tried to make a push or two like that. But a lot of it was just them just getting beamed through those doorways, and they weren't able to make any type of progress. Obviously, Yuji really popping off the end right there, 47, huge for Levity, and that is definitely a must-have victory. I mean, at this point, every game's a must-have victory, so really big for Levity right there as we do get ready to hop into the Search and Destroy. It's going to be on Tunisia, so not one that we see a whole lot. Going to be interesting to see what strategies we have going into play. Obviously, primary sniper in Zai for Levity. Going to be a big factor, as well as Little B, who came in 3rd place for our community voting as a sniper for Trovo Mayhem.
Super robbed. not that Bolu did bad, but Lil B definitely had the better sniper performance.
Yeah, I feel like Little B was the more consistent. I think Bolu definitely struggled with the sniper toward the end of the season. That there were multiple games where he started with the sniper and then switched to the SMG, and his performance improved drastically. So I'm not saying he's a bad sniper, but
Oh, yeah, no, not at all.
yeah. Just waiting for a couple more players to ready up, and we should be good to hop into game 2. Keep in mind, it is best of 5. Oh my gosh. The Hornets are down by 40 points in the play-in game. That's just embarrassing. Oh, okay. You hate to see it. There's always next year.
Yeah, definitely excited for this one. Again, you would think that the stronger search and destroy team would be 11T, but I think we've got a really interesting sniper matchup here between Zai and Lil B. So we'll have to see if Lil B can help his team by putting up the numbers he has previously in search and destroy. He's one of those players that has the upper echelon of search and destroy KDAs, as we mentioned earlier. Wiru, I think, again, I'm a couple games behind, but Wiru up at 2.3 something. Lil B, one of those players that is then in the top. If you take the outlier Wiru out with a 1.74, so definitely been having a pretty big performance for his team on search. Pretty consistently the past couple of weeks, he's put up double digits in search, 14 and 6, as well as a 10 and 4. I mean, pretty good numbers out of him, at 11 and 3. So can't complain too much if your sniper power is Lil B, but again, I think it should be a great matchup between him and Zai. So far, it is a 1-for-1 trade just for Leon, but 11T coming through with another 1-for-1 refrag there. Niru with a big double kill. Lots of action on the back half of B here. Now it is a lonely Yuji against Niru and Molly. Gonna pick up the free kill onto E-Molly there, who's looking on over top. It's now a 1 versus 1, and Yuji, with the sniper picked up, may be looking to potentially make a A-side rotation. Does look to be the case so far. Doing a good job peeking his corners. As we can see, Niru is quite far behind. I'm not sure if he thinks bomb is down at B and he's listening for footsteps, but this is going to be a free plant going over to Yuji now with 20 seconds on the clock. It's going to make it a 1v1 with Yuji having the 45-second time window that he just has to play clock.
Yep, and now we have Nero making the push on out. A little bit surprised he's sticking with the Renetti and not picking up another secondary, and especially with Yuji over here, he's got a sniper and an SMG to work with, so a lot of versatility. And we do have the push in for Nero. Oh my gosh!
Whoa!
He perfectly put Nero. He knew where to look. I don't know if he saw him on the entry. Maybe he saw his shadow or something else.
Pretty common spot to sit, to be fair.
That it is, but man, I mean, what a pre-fire by him to win round 1 for Trovo
Big
Mayhem.
round by Niru overall. 3 kills on the board already.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Wow. And we do have a little bit more of an aggressive push right here for 11T. We got multiple players pushed up. Molly ready for just to hop out of that top area. We do have an assist going in, the 1-for-1 trade. Zai not able to get anything here quite yet. We do see the laser around the corner. Trovo Mayhem losing players left and right. Leon able to find one, but the refrag goes in. It's Nero all alone once again, but we know he's capable of clutching. He's got 4 kills on the board already. We do see Zai right around the corner, and I think he might be able to see that laser. He's actually going to get spotted. Somehow did not take a single bullet right there. He's going to try to pre-fire the corner. I'm not sure who he thought was there, but now he's got to try to escape right here. Going to go ahead and set up. They're not going to get baited into the situation. Definitely the right discipline for 11T. And Zai's going to get spotted out, but not going to lose the gunfight. And that is a big round win for 11T to tie things at 1-1.
Yeah, big turnaround for 11T after near clutched up round 1. So with the 1-1, still obviously anybody's game. There's a lot of search and destroy ahead of us. I'd love to see a game 5 out of these two teams, especially with how good that hardpoint matchup was. Oh, Zai big kill onto the top frag of Trovo Mayhem there. They're pretty aggressively poked out mid, where snipers are normally at. So that was perhaps not the ideal rotation coming out of him. Gonna leave his team in a 4 versus 5 on defense. So we've talked about it quite a bit, Bobby, that typically offense has that kind of, we can send the whole team one way or the other, especially on a larger map like Tunisia. And defense has to be a little bit split up and ready to defend one side or the other. And with everybody over at B and only 35 seconds on the clock, this is a great position for 11T to be in. Tectonic actually with a giant drop is going to pick up the kill there before getting traded out by Just Lil B. Going to find the dome of Danny Gogu. Now a 3 versus 3, but with only 20 seconds on the clock, this is rough for Trovo Mayhem, and a big rotation from Just is going to pick up Little B. That might just secure the round here. Leon finds Wiru, but we are running out of time on the side of Trovo Mayhem. Zai is going to pick up the kill there, and there is no time on the clock for Leon to get the defuse. He gets the kill, but it doesn't matter. That's a win for 11T. Great work out of them, playing the time there, not playing too aggressive, and advancing their team to a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, it looks like Trovo Mayhem might have enough, but just not quite there in time. And I'm a little surprised to see Tectonic pulling out the LK in Search and Destroy. Obviously, it makes a little bit more sense in respawns, but in Search and Destroy, it's all about time to kill. And that's just not a gun that's going to have a specific advantage when it comes to time to kill. So we'll see if that continues to pan out or if we see a switch coming in later. We do have couple trades going in. 3 players now remain for each team. Leon has been on a massive flank right now, and he's going all the way up through this top area. Little B finds a 2-piece. Unfortunately, I had to miss out on it because I was too busy watching the flank. Zai's tucked away in this quarter. Little B's trying to find him right there. Not able to hit the shot, but he's really caught between a rock and a hard place. Little B hits the quick scope right there as well, and that's going to allow Trovo Mayhem to tie things up at 2-2.
And again, this is one of those matchups that we expected to be pretty even across the board. Neru and Little B having a great game so far. 5 kills apiece over there for them to lead all players, but we have several players on the side of 11T with 4. Wiru, surprisingly, the one struggling currently on the side of 11T, as he is sitting down at 1. Make it 2 kills as he does get the pickup there, and can't complain too much about that. That definitely helps spice things in this matchup up a bit. So,
ooh, what a quick scope from Little B. That was definitely a must-have kill for them to find something that's going to move things down to a 2v2 right here. Both Trovo Mayhem players tucked away in the corner. They're picking up the bomb right here. They should have ears on the plant to go in. If I had to guess, they're probably going to wait for him to go ahead and leave the site. Unfortunate timing for Molly right there, not hitting the initial shots onto Danny Gogu, able to slide away, might be able to be there for the refrag, but it's actually Leon. Oh, he's got the flank going in again. Both players just chilling up top. He's going to be able to pick up a sniper. That's absolutely huge if he can find the angle. He sees Zai right there, gets the assist. Danny Gogu's over on the left, but Leon doesn't realize he sees him. He gets the kill anyway. He's going to shoot the body. Absolutely turned on him right there. And that is another big-time win and a lot of toxicity going into that one as Trovo Mayhem now takes the lead at 3-2.
Yep, and that is going to be switching sides as well, so we'll have to see if Trovo Mayhem are able to capitalize it all on the, again, ability on specifically a larger map like Tunisia to be able to hard push your team one way or another and try to just outnumber the enemies. At that point, a 1-for-1 trade is often better for you because you can get the plant. You can force your opponents to face in the 4v4 against the clock, which is really the ideal situation. And we already saw that once out of 11T. They were able to make the rotation over, the hard A push, they got the plant, they played time, even though there were 1-for-1 trades back and forth. That got them the win, so definitely a strong thing to consider, but a huge round from Trovo Mayhem there is now a 4-2 lead, and man, Weir's normally the player we expect to put up double digits in Search and Destroy. He has as many kills as anybody else really on the team, but we need to see something awaken in him if we want to stop this Trovo Mayhem team, who's doing phenomenal in search currently.
Yeah, Trovo Mayhem has looked a lot more confident in search and destroy. We do see a big two-piece coming in. Oh, just with the beam onto Leon right there, and that was definitely a must-have for them. Tectonic's going to find one, though. Little B taken out. It's on to Tectonic for the clutch right here. He honestly hasn't had a great game so far, but obviously with the positioning up in that top area, he's got a shot if we have somebody for Lemony making a push, but they seem pretty content to just sit down in this bottom area. And with a slow killing, oh, he's going to be able to pick up a sniper. Oh, he's got a real shot now with a sniper and an assault rifle in his hands just right around the corner. Oh, he's hiding behind that box. Tectonic's not going to nearly turned on him right there. Didn't have quite enough time to get that shot in. And big clutch up right there for 11D as they keep the game close at 4-3.
Yeah, the hard point was great. We saw a lead develop for 11T. We saw a pretty sizable comeback from Trovo Mayhem. They weren't able to close it out, but showed big signs of life, made it exciting to watch, and so far the search has been the same. Just is going to get the better half of Nero there. The fast firing speed of the Fennec definitely helping him pick up that kill. Now 2 members of Trovo Mayhem up top, and definitely a difficult fight for him. PP-19 obviously a pretty strong gun for getting those consecutive kills just based on the time to kill, as well as the just raw ammo. I mean, almost LMG sized ammo capacity, right? So definitely something that a lot of players have throughout this season used to their favor, but with it banned, obviously not an option. So time to kill just is going with the Fennec there. Molly with a huge pick onto Zai. Gonna make things more manageable for the side of Trovo Mayhem. They now have a 4 versus 3 lead, but oh, Just is just in a great spot. Leon and Tectonic both drop down in succession, getting lasered down by the Fennec. And now what was looking great for Trovo Mayhem is now in a fantastic spot for 11T. Have the 2-1 lead. And with the good sounds coming from Just, he's able to pick up a 4th kill that round. That was huge for Just. 10 kills on the board for him.
Yep, first player in double digits right there. And Trovo Mayhem just struggled the past couple rounds primarily because it seems like 11D has been the team finding the first bloods right here. Little B trying to find a snipe across mid. It's usually waiting tucked away in that corner right now. And it does look like, oh, he had the timing, he had the angle, just wasn't able to make the shot happen right here. They are now going to make the push on over to the B site. Nobody really set up right now for 11D. We do see players rotating, and Little B having a little bit of a tougher time hitting those snipes that he was able to do consistently. And there you go, he's back. Takes out Yuji. That's a first blood for them. 1 player down below. Trying to get the push on in. He definitely had eyes on Just, who peeked through that doorway down bottom, but it's a couple frags going in once again, but he's able to get the trade on Zai. Another one drops. 1 player up top. Little B's got to be aware of Danny Gogu trying to peek over that top side. They're trying to go for the plant right here. He's going to go ahead and jump down. Gets the assist. Gets the pistol out. That's another kill for Little B. 12 on the board for him, and Trovo Mayhem now 1 round away from closing this out.
And this is exactly why I said Little B was robbed of that 2nd place. I don't think he was quite as consistent as Washi. I'm not fighting for Little B to have first, but I think it was robbed. I think it was pretty robbed. Little B's had consistent double-digit kills in Search and Destroy for a majority of the season. As we see, he has 12 on the board now, but Just having a crazy game right now. And again, Wiru, normally kind of the ace for 11T. One of the reasons that he got the player voted 3rd place for MVP of the split, and unfortunately just not showing up in as big of a way for 11T as we've seen in the past. And I think that's a lot of their struggle currently as he sits down at 5. But this looks like we are getting ready to go into a round 11 Search and Destroy. It's a 5 versus 2 currently with 40 seconds on the board and bomb down. So that's huge for 11T. It almost should secure their win here, shy of basically a miracle.
Yeah, that was a big opening frag for Trovo Mayhem, but now they've only got 25 seconds on the board. He actually heard the shot from Zai right there. Going to slide the corner, not able to get the kill, and that will pretty much all but secure the round for 11T. Definitely big shots right there, but Tectonic's going to get taken out by Zai, who's actually up in that top area. He's going to get beamed from behind. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Game 2 already going to a round 11.
Yeah, this was destined to be an exciting matchup, Bobby, and it's proving to be such. The hard point was close. The search and destroy is round 11. There's potential to see a game 5 in the quarterfinals here between these two teams. Trovo almost killing themselves on a trophy system there, it looked like. It was pretty close, but it does look like everyone's gonna be fine. It just looked close. There was explosions in their face. Not even close enough for damage, but from their perspective, it was pretty spook.
Yeah, and we do now see the rotation on over to B. Obviously, Little B probably has the information that they haven't seen anybody over at A. The plant's going to go down. He's going to be able to hop back. I think he saw Weir make the rotation up. Definitely saw the bomb right there. Going to hop it. Gets the major assist right there. Big opening shots. The trades go in. It's going to be Trovo Mayhem with a one-man advantage, but Zai's still alive, and he's got a sniper in hand. He's going to miss a crucial shot right there. He is not in a good spot, and right now 11T holding down the angles Trovo Mayhem's not coming from. Near's going to take out Zai. It's going to be Danny Gogu all by himself. Coming from the low ground, it's Tectonic with the LK in hand. Who else? 11 kills on the board with a medium time to kill assault rifle. And he's going to get the final kill and the defuse. Trovo Mayhem takes game number 2. And I've got a feeling we've got a good one going for us tonight as we are now tied up at 1-1.
Right from the start, Bobby, we expected this to be the better matchup, and it's currently proving to be so. Trovo Mayhem somehow able to pull together the round 11 search and destroy victory there. You see Tectonic and Lil B up there at the top with 11, 12, and then followed very closely behind by Molly with 10 kills. So huge performance out of these guys here in search and destroy. We will be moving into a domination, so kind of a cross of the two game modes, which is a nice fitting mix-up. You have the respawn likeness to hardpoint, and you have the static objective likeness to search and destroy. So I would say overall, search teams generally play better in domination, but we will have to see as things get into this game. I do believe, Bobby, we have a second half of an interview. I don't know if you want to do that now or after the next one, or we could... I don't know if you want to do the pro player voting today or if you want to save that for Thursday. I mean, the ball's in your court, Bobby.
We'll go ahead and run part 2 of our interview with Bolu.
How often are you competing?
I would say maybe every day, at least one match. So technically, we are playing scrims, but they're not scrims; they're tournaments. So it's every day. You know, we're signed up for plenty of leagues out there. You know, I'm sure the other teams that other teams know, and the people that are watching, know that we play in other leagues. So it's technically every day we play, but we just don't. I just don't see a reason to scrim when you're already playing every day. It's just for me.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what's working for you, then you got to run with that. Keep going after that success. So you do a little bit of content creation as well as competing. I think it's pretty obvious what we know your goals are for competition in 2021. Win champs, win as often in Mobile Mayhem and other big tournaments as possible. Do you have any other goals for competing or anything for content creation this year?
Not necessarily for content creation. Content creation for me is just mostly posting memories from scrims. Just like maybe like in 10 years, I look back, I remember that match, I played. That's just for me. That's why I don't really post too much. But of course, my goal is to win everything. No one likes losing, but I think we all can understand that when you win, it doesn't feel as like the good feeling lasts shorter than losing. When you lose, you feel like hurt for longer than when you win. It's kind of, I don't know if you can understand that. But like
the losses hurt more than the wins feel good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
of course I want to try to win everything. That's my goal, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go in there and just like start throwing, like no, I just can't bring myself to throw a match. Like if we scrim and we start throwing, I'm like, guys, like, are we gonna play serious or are we gonna throw? And because I don't see a reason to waste my time,
Yeah, absolutely. And I ask a lot of people what the difference between casual players, high ranked players are, and the top competitive teams. And that one of the answers I get most often is game sense, right? So I think that's pretty obvious that's a huge factor. Is knowing where to be on the map, knowing where the angles are. How have you guys with Tribe developed that game sense? And obviously your winning record speaks for itself. What do you think you're doing differently than the other competitive teams?
I wouldn't say game sense is for individual players, but the best thing to have is team communication and understanding, how to break hills and hardpoint, what to cap. Not playing for KD, that's like the thing that makes me the most heated. If someone's playing for KD, like, oh my God, just hop on the hill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's mostly team communication. And I think teams need to understand that, it's not about how many kills you have, because people won't remember how good you played. People remember who won. And that's what I always say to my team. Like, no matter, like, it doesn't matter if you do horrible, as long as you win, people will remember that. So that's just for me.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's the biggest indicator of that, so many people who watch competitive COD Mobile, they look at the KD ratio, right? Those are hard numbers. It's easy to see at the end of the game. I think one of the more important things to watch is player positioning on the map, and watch what the teams are doing with their positioning, because I think that's part of what you're describing, right? Like the objective positioning, setting up plays, setting up hard point breaks, that those spots that people are in at those key moments are almost a better indicator of how those teams are doing.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, KD for me doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, if like getting like 0 kills a map, then there's a problem. But as long as everyone's contributing at some point in the game to win, that's what matters. Because there's going to be guys that have worse, how to say, KD or whatever, because they're playing more aggressive. They're playing more on the hill. They're going to die more. And then you have your players refragging you. So to me, like, for example, all of my teammates in my current team, I consider all of them equally the same skill level, because everyone plays a role in the team. So KD for me doesn't matter, because I think for my team and any of the team, any player can turn up their skill level at any point in the game and make a big difference.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing for people to kind of understand. The more people that understand those dynamics, I think the more entertaining some of this competitive play is going to be. The more you know about the sport, the more you're likely to follow it, and that plays here too. So with the meta changes often enough, right? With guns, what's effective, what's not, and we've got some major gun meta changes coming up with season 4. But what are your favorite guns right now? What do you think people should be playing with today?
Well, realistically, what people want to play with is the Bison and Kiki 9. But realistically, my favorite gun is the HVK and DRH. But if the Bison and Kiki 9 aren't banned, I'm forced to use one of those guns, because those are the best guns in the game. For like, everyone knows that. So realistically, I want to use the HVK, but you can't use it all the time, because you use the career sabers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't win without a career saver, because everyone else is using it. So join the cause.
So it's one of those, the HVK is your favorite gun to use, but you got to use what the game kind of dictates sometimes.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's why you see me sometimes the HVK, because I'm like, oh my God, like, screw these guns, man. Like, I'm using my bread and butter.
See, unfortunately, HVK. I feel that way about the PDW, and I don't think that's even a viable play, no matter.
PDW? Oh my, no, not this. No, if you use it in comp, oh my God. I remember A-Flows used that one time, and he got like 0 kills in the scrim. I'm like, oh my God.
It's so rough, man. I want to go back to a PDW meta. I want to feel that Black Ops 2 power again.
Yeah, you can't. No, not in this state of the game. Maybe back then you could.
Yeah,
but not anymore.
I'd be interested to see if the developers can come up with a way to make a much wider set of guns viable. I would love to see 8 different guns between 2 teams on a hardpoint map, but we'll see what season 4 has in store with us with that one.
I agree.
So one of the questions I ask at the end of the interview for everyone is, if you're watching COD Mobile, what content creators do you watch?
Content creators. Probably the guy I probably watched the most is probably Vague because he's my teammate, and I like watching the VODs from his perspective to see what we do, what he does wrong, and what I can do to help my team. So I'll go with Vague. Probably it's the one I enjoy watching.
Nice, and I think really what you're talking about is not necessarily watching for enjoyment, but you're watching tape. Yeah,
I mean, I enjoy Vague's reactions. He's like, "Oh my god, he's one shot!" Ah!
yeah.
Like he gets like folded some games. It's funny.
There's more than one reason he's an early pick on a lot of teams when we have these pick'em events because he's fun to have in Discord.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
well, that's awesome, man. Hey, and thanks for coming on for the interview, and it's good to kind of get a look inside of what might be driving some of the success that Tribe's having, and it's going to be exciting to watch championships and the rest of Mobile Mayhem for this year.
Yeah, we'll see what happens this Mobile Mayhem. Yeah, we'll see.
Awesome, thanks, man.
Expect big things from Marshy. Right?
You heard it here, Marshy. You heard it here.
Marshy's gonna be like, I guess.
I guess.
Expect big things from Marshy. I'm putting the pressure on him. He's playing, so all right.
Awesome, man.
All
right, guys. You heard it here first. Marshy guaranteed dropping 50 kills on Thursday for Tribe. Dave, just FYI, we don't have your face cam, but it should be all right because I think we are good to hop in to game number 3, Domination on Standoff.
Definitely going to be an exciting one. The hard point was great. The search and destroy was great. We're jumping on in to Domination on Standoff, which we've definitely seen some pretty great performances on this map. Specifically, whoever team is able to get B early, we know the top of the bakery is just a phenomenal spot to be able to get in. There's not a lot of safe cover, so that side is definitely going to be our favored side for defense. You do have the window up top of Granny's on the opposition side, but obviously we have the truck that you can kind of tuck yourself in a corner behind, give you a little bit of cover there. So again, bakery side, typically going to be your preferred defense of B. So we'll have to see what team is going to get B first. And then from there, is there going to be a flip for control of C by Trovo Mayhem? Or is it going to be 11T just able to hold down that defensive side? And definitely one of the things that makes anchors so incredibly important in this domination matchup. You have Leon picking up a pretty solid double kill there. The basically half-point lead currently by the side of 11T, as you see. They're ticking over to the next point, just a half second or so ahead of Trovo Mayhem. Still only about half cap on B for Trovo Mayhem, not quite able to find the finish. You have Nero getting pincered there by Zai, as well as Lil B trying to make his rotation over. He's going to get the 1 kill, but can he get the cap on to B? We'll have to see as he's trying to get that health regen there. Nero going to get picked off. So far, Tectonic top fragging on the side of Trovo Mayhem. 6 kills for him and 6 for Yuji. And still, very even game. We've got big progress on B by Trovo Mayhem. They get the lock-in. And now we'll have to see if they're going to try to make that push for the spawn clip. Again, I think that top bakery side is just way easier to defend the B flag from. Little B with a giant triple kill for the team there. Zai making the rotation over. Little B's going to hear the bullets and he whizzes behind, but it obviously does look like he is attempting to get up into that bakery side. Zai knows that's the case, trying to peek window there. Lil B, knowing those shots behind him, played it a little bit slow there. The A-cap looks like it's coming through for the side of 11. It's going to give them the double cap in return, but Lil B makes the push to C, ends up dropping, and now it's going to be Zai moving up top, looking to defend his team on the B push there. 75% or so for the side of 11T, but unable to lock in the cap thus far. Double cap is going to remain in favor of Trovo Mayhem as they inch ever so slightly away currently, about 6 points in the lead.
Yeah, that was a massive feed for Trovo Mayhem. Tectonic got a little unlucky. Had he pre-fired for probably like a tenth of a second more, he definitely would have found a kill through right there, but he's going to find another one regardless. First person on Trovo Mayhem to move into double digits. We do have Yuji doing that for 11T, and he's actually going to secure the B cap right here. Leon slides the corner, is able to find one, but definitely a big retake for 11T in the first half. We do have Just spraying across mid. It's interesting that you said that Shops is the better side to hold from, because I typically feel like blue is the stronger side. Why do you feel like Shops is the better location?
I feel like because you have that extra advantage, you have from Bakery side, you can from top see all of B. There's nowhere for anybody to hide behind, tuck themselves in a corner and get that B cap. On opposition, again, you have that truck that's like right at the edge of B that you can tuck yourself behind, and if you're on top of Grannies, you can't really effectively get that kill. You have to actually push in. So at least for my experience in COD previously, which obviously is been on console, that's always been the better side, but it's a very small window. I mean, either side really works. It's all going to be about the team play, and so far the team play is a AC cap coming out of Trovo Mayhem, trying to even things up. We do have 11T with a 5-point lead currently. Only 50-some seconds left on the clock, so time going to be ever so important for these teams. And this is actually a long AC cap by the side of Trovo Mayhem. That's huge. The triple cap comes in as well for a couple seconds. Let's see. 11 to get the C back, but Trovo Mayhem once again swinging the lead in their favor, even if it's just a couple points. There's not a lot of time for 11T to get that recap and get the lead back in their favor at this point.
I mean, Little B's hitting those headshots with the HVK, and when you're doing that, that thing is devastating. Finds another one right there. 17 for him, 19 for Tectonic right now. And on the kill side of things, it looks like Trovo Mayhem's got a massive advantage. We got 3 people still in single digits over on 11T, but they were able to hold that B cap so successfully that they've been able to keep it relatively close. Obviously, only 11 points separating these two teams right now. Day gave his explanation for why Shops are strong side, and even though that hasn't been my experience, he knows a lot more about Call of Duty, and his explanation makes a lot of sense. So we'll see if Trovo Mayhem tries to stick it out over on the C side. We do see Tectonic beaming off the start once again. Just going to be able to find the frag from the side right there, and trades going in left and right. No real progress over onto B. Little B finds a 2-piece. The trades have been pretty consistent for the most part. Nero's going to find one in Courtyard right there. He's actually got a Pred missile and working on a cluster strike. So if he plays this right, that could be massive value for Trovo Mayhem. Definitely got to keep an eye on him. Zai's around the corner, taking the shots. He's trying to stay alive. They keep re-peeking. He gets the major assist. He's only 10 points away, but he can't get shots onto anybody else. He's going to go ahead and call in the Pred and try to secure it, and I think he's going to be able to do it. That's a cluster strike for him on top of a double kill, and as he watches Tectonic get naded off of B, gets a little bit of progress there as well, and that is going to be huge for Trovo Mayhem now having a cluster strike in their control.
Yeah, with B as exposed as it is, a cluster strike can pretty much hold a cap or prevent a cap for a solid 10 seconds or so easy, which in a game this close, that could be the difference maker, so we'll have to see. But Trovo Mayhem filling up the feed massively right now.
I don't know who it was, but Emolly just completely turned on somebody right there. That was definitely a crucial play there as well. We do see Yuji with that Shock RC in his controls. You got to be careful with that. Once again, the team kill onto Tectonic. They get a big clear off. They might be able to get some progress onto B right here. Obviously, you do have to take into account the cluster strike, so we start to see some of the progress go in. We'll see whether or not Nero's going to go ahead and call for the cluster, and they're actually going to go for the AC cap again. So they're going to go ahead and cluster onto the opposite flag and see if that will allow them to get some progress onto B as well. We do see Little B winning another gunfight over in Courtyard. Just actually going for the counter push right here as he makes the move over toward A. If he's able to catch them out of the flag, and he's able to do that, 2 people absolutely beamed off right there. this is a really good hold spot for them, but they're still being double capped right now. He's getting some progress onto A, but
Nero's so close.
Wow, they're so close to finishing that B cap, and they actually do it right there. So it is Trovo Mayhem once again with the advantage, just making the push up once again, but one player over on the side just finds another crucial. Just is only 100 points off of a cluster. I'm surprised he's not playing more passive. It doesn't make a difference, though. He's now got a cluster himself alongside that Pred missile. That could potentially be disaster for Trovo Mayhem. Somehow he's able to win that gunfight as well. And suddenly things looking really, really good for 11 right here.
Yeah, this is a big double cap for them. They need to hold it here. They're not anywhere near triple cap territory. This game is even down to the wire, just like our round 11 search and destroy. The AC cap almost once again coming through from Trovo Mayhem. It is gonna get stopped there, which is gonna give 11T their maintain on the double cap. In fact, it's a triple cap coming through. Nero with the double there. Again, a lot of Trovo Mayhem opting to go the care package route. It does look like we have Leon with a sentry, and again, it's another one of those kind of safe score streaks to run. It's not a one-tap deploy, so definitely a smart choice for him there, but it is now all tied up, and from here on out, 11T will start gaining the lead. If Trovo Mayhem want to win this one, there's only a minute on the clock, Bobby. They need to find some sort of B or even AC momentum. We've seen a lot of AC caps from them. But they need it. They need it now.
Oh, what a spray from Yuji over the box's head glitch right there. That might seal the deal. We see Molly getting some time in right here, but nades on nades on nades going over top. Trovo Mayhem trying to get the push on in. Tectonics holding down Statue right here, but Danny Gogu's over there just causing issues. He's able to hit the shot, but Zai hops over the wall right there. Only 35 seconds remaining. Kills continue to go in for 11 right here. Yushi's going to get beamed. Leon's going to go ahead, hop the corner. Nero on the B flag. We'll see if he's able to get sizable progress, but he gets spotted out by Wiru, and that will probably seal the deal. 11T behind for just about the entire game, but they're able to secure the double cap when they needed it, and the crucial hold from blue side will secure them the win in game number 2.
Huge comeback from 11 there. I mean, it's hard to call it a comeback because of how even that game was the whole time. But with an 18-point lead, the timeout is going to go in their favor. And that's going to be a 2-1 lead now in the series, as you mentioned, with Trovo Mayhem obviously having picked up the search and destroy win. So huge game so far out of both of these teams. There's still a lot of potential where this could go into a game 5. In fact, our next match in this series is going to be Hardpoint on Summit. So we did see the so far the Hardpoint has gone in favor of 11T as well as the Domination. So both respawns have been 11T favor. We're back on a new map ahead of us, and if we do get to game 5, it'll be Search and Destroy on Raid. So definitely something to keep in mind there as well.
Oh gosh, I've got nightmares about Search and Destroy on Raid because that was the last map that the Subliners lost on against FaZe. Oh, pain. My teams have just not had a whole lot of luck this week. Subliners lose to FaZe. Hornets get blown out by 40. All I want is a nice game 5 to commentate. Please, COD Mobile Gods, give it to us. And we do have, obviously, 11T taking the 2-1 lead right there. And we are getting ready to hop into Summit Hardpoint. Definitely one of the more interesting ones with the new spawns and everything else. I think Hardpoint on Summit was probably one of the reasons that they changed spawns in the first place, but obviously maybe a little bit of an overcorrection. So we'll see what the teams are able to do. I feel like it's been one of the more consistently banned Hardpoint maps throughout the season, so we haven't seen as much play on it, but obviously both of these teams with a whole lot of experience here. Just waiting for them to ready up, and we should be good to hop in to game number 4.
right now, Bobby. I picked up Cold War like a week ago.
Yeah.
And have been kind of on and off getting back into the groove of things. And it definitely feels like an overcorrection because we've pointed out several times where you can die on the hard point and either spawn outside of the hard point at the top of stairs at basketball court, or we've even seen people literally spawn on the hard point after they died and lost the hard point. So having played it in Cold War, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. So I definitely am sticking to my there's an overcorrection or even a bug in the respawns currently for at least several of the maps. There are some that feel pretty solid, but I know Crash is a big one that's really wonky. Raid. Summit's alright. Again, Summit needed some sort of change to the respawn points just because if you lost the initial fight, your team spent 20-some seconds just getting back to P3 or just getting back to P4. It made anchor play really important, but spawning in the middle of the map's pretty solid. You definitely have some points, though, where your team does not have control of P4, your team gets wiped, and then you spawn in the garage right behind P4. That's a little excessive. It's almost like a handicap at that point to the less gun-skilled team. It gives you a second chance to spawn and get into a gunfight before your enemies have been able to reload or regenerate health or reposition themselves, anything of that nature. And I think it just lends a little bit too much aid to comeback potential.
Yep. We still waiting for a couple players to get their things situated. Obviously, potentially some changes in loadouts as we do get ready to hop into Hardpoint. Keep in mind, these are the quarterfinals. So we do still have the semifinals on Thursday night, the finals next Tuesday, and the All-Star game on Thursday. So lots more Mobile Mayhem ahead of us before the end of the season. Definitely going to be a blast to watch. And thanks to Fnatic and OnePlus, we've got a lot of extra money on the line. $4,000 for this season of Mobile Mayhem, which is the most that we have ever had. And obviously that extra $500 on the line for the All-Star game as well. Super, super fun. For people asking where my poster is, it's actually hung up on the opposite wall. So there wasn't really like a good way for me to hang it up that you guys would be able to see it, because obviously I got the curtain back there and that's not a wall. So I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. I can't put it over top of the Bobby Talks sign because that's too cool to cover up. So I don't know. We got to figure something out, but maybe we'll find a way. Maybe we'll just add a poster cam.
Door.
Who knows?
Put it on the door.
I could put it. Yeah, I guess technically the door's kind of in the picture. We might see if we can make that work.
You might not get the whole thing in the frame, but they'll see it. They'll know it's there. They'll be able to see that it's cool. If you do want to show it off, you can just tilt your camera and be like, that's it.
Oh, wait. Has Wally been playing the whole time? He definitely hasn't.
No, he has not. It was Yuji, Danny Gogu, Zai,
oh, so
Justin Wiru.
Danny Gogu just subbed out. Interesting.
He had a heck of a hard point.
Yeah.
That first hard point, he was having a game, man.
That's very, very interesting. Especially because Wally was really good at the beginning of the season, but took a pretty solid amount of time off from competitive. When he came back, he definitely struggled pretty significantly. So I'm interested to see if this is going to be the right move for Eleventy or if it ends up coming back to bite him in the butt. Obviously, Wally's had a lot of time to practice since that last time, so it could have just been some rust that he was getting off. But we're just waiting for one more. Wait. Oh, is it All-Stars on Friday?
I believe it's on Friday, yeah.
Friday, okay. I hope I didn't commit to anything on Friday. I don't think I did. Probably not. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Like we're waiting on. Looks like we have maybe a technical difficulty with one player, so we'll get you guys into the game as soon as we can here. Obviously, this series has been explosive from the start. Is it going to be Eleventy walking away with the 3-1 win, or will Trovo Mayhem be able to push us into a Game 5? We are getting ready to get into Hardpoint Summit here shortly, and if we do go into a Game 5, it will be Search and Destroy on Raid. Another one of those really heavy sniper present maps. So definitely a lot of opportunity. And Trovo Mayhem won the last Search and Destroy in a fantastic round 11 finish. I think with only 2 players alive. So very, very close series. All series long. Again, that last domination was looking pretty good for Trovo Mayhem at 11T with a solid comeback in the second half. The 18-point lead for that second win in the series.
Yep. Just trying to get our technical issues squared away. Obviously, going back to game 1 of Hardpoint, it was pretty even all the way up until the second to last Hardpoints, the rotation into P2. On firing range, Trovo Mayhem just got completely shut down. 11T, they seem to have the perfect setup. I don't know what it was about that setup that was just impenetrable compared to every one of the other Hardpoints, but following that, they really had no issue following it through. It'll be interesting because I feel like Summit Hardpoint is semi-comparable to firing range. Obviously, firing range is a little bit more of a circle and flows better. But, oh, we got everybody loaded in. So, good to go for game number 4 right here. If 11T wins, they will be moving on to the semifinals up against Zygnus Main. If Trovo Mayhem wins, obviously, we'll have ourselves a game 5 Search and Destroy. I think most people would prefer to see that one. But we are underway as it looks like it is going to be 11T on strong side off the start. Should be able to get that initial entry on the hard point as they go ahead and push in right there. And it's actually just, I believe, cryo-bombing himself right there. Yuji does find first blood onto Leon. Molly gets a trade onto Wally. Little B finds one as well. And Trovo Mayhem looking to make a push on into the hard point on the bottom side. They get shut down pretty immediately. A big 2-piece for Zai. The hard point being contested right now. Slides the corner, not able to find those shots. And Tectonic slides the corner and takes control of the hard point for Trovo Mayhem. He's actually got the Fennekin Ant, which we haven't seen him use a whole lot. Typically an LK main, but obviously looking to switch things up on a little bit more of a close range map. And we'll see if it's something he's able to make work, as we got Weird with a strong start as well. 4 kills on the board for him. Had struggled in a couple of those initial games, but definitely looking like he's starting to warm up with now make it 5 kills on the board.
And again, he did struggle a bit in the Search and Destroy, so if he's getting warmed up, that could spell pretty disastrous to Trovo Mayhem, even if they are able to push us into a game 5 between these two teams. So definitely something to consider. We know Wiru's history of if he struggles in the hard point, it's sometimes a little bit questionable how he's going to do in Search, but usually still does all right. And that was the case. He struggled a bit in the first hard point. His team definitely helped carry him through. He had an okay Search, but definitely not the Wiru we're used to or hoping to see. And if he ends up having a good game here and Trovo do win, it could be the explosive performance that we expect out of Wiru coming through in a Search and Destroy game 5. So if you're Trovo Mayhem, obviously you're fighting for that game 5 to keep yourself in this, but I don't necessarily think you're looking forward to it either.
Yeah. Wally, I'm not gonna lie, Wally kind of looked like a deer in headlights right there. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but he just kind of sat there as he got beamed by Little B. And unfortunately for 11T, they do not have good spawns for the rotation on over to... Wow, that was a really far spawn. And maybe that was a spawn for P2 right there, and maybe that was the reason they spawned that far out. But we just saw Weird across the entire map, which we haven't seen him do. We haven't seen anybody do on Summit Hardpoint in a hot minute. We do see Trovo Mayhem with a really solid hold right here. While he's going to get spotted, they got the information. Kill goes in. Zai's going to try to push on through. Gets 1 frag, not able to make it 2. Wiru's trying to get the push from the front side. He turns! What a shot right there. He does get taken out on the inside. Just slides on in. Runs out of ammo right there. He's got a pistol out right now. No ammo. Inside of a cryo bomb. Somehow staying alive. And it's finally going to be 11D pushing in. He's going to get 1, make it 2. Crucial kills right there. But the push from behind will be enough for Trovo Mayhem as they retake control of the hard point right there. Molly already pushing out. We do see Wally already set up on the opposite side, so he's going to be looking to catch Trovo Mayhem players rotating right here. He finds 1 in Molly. Now up to 8 kills on the board. We're with the hard carry right now for 11. 15 kills. They've got some ground to make up as Trovo Mayhem holds the 30-point lead.
It's again, if you're Trovo Mayhem, you're definitely fighting it for this win here. You can't afford to lose now. You're down 2 in the best of 5. Again, I don't know if you're necessarily looking forward to facing off against Weiro in Search and Destroy, but that's the path you have to make at this point. And we have Little B 16 kills on the board, Leon with 12, Tectonic with 13. They're putting numbers up that's definitely helping keep them alive currently. I think they have a net 7 right now, so something to keep in mind, as well as a pretty solid P4 control. Just gonna make the rotation and make the break for his team. One of those times that a fast shooting weapon, but not a whole bunch of ammo, plays into a bit of effect. There goes for the reload, and Tectonic with the rotation in is going to pick up the kill. Just is going to find another one there. But with a 45-point lead currently for Trovo Mayhem, looks like that P4 largely in their favor. And we will now be rotating back towards P1 at this point, as obviously Summit is only a 4 hardpoint map, so.
Yeah, Little B popping off again. Top frag for the map. 20 kills on the board. Molly slides the corner, going to get taken out by Wiru, but the refrags are there. And Wally currently holding this down by himself. What a shot onto Little B right there. Definitely a must win for them. They're going to be able to hold P1 for right now. And a big feed goes in for, actually, I guess kind of equal feeds going in for both teams. And that really tends to be the story of hard points after the update. It was actually Wally only 25 points off of a Pred missile right there. Wasn't able to win the gunfight though. Leon winning another crucial one. He's been another one of those players. Just adding him to the starting roster for Trovo Mayhem has been so huge. They've made massive improvements since he's joined the team. And once again, popping off 19 kills on the board. Weird slides on through. The low rate of fire on the ASM-10, the big downside of that is if you do miss the initial shot, you're at a massive disadvantage against a high rate of fire weapon like either the Fennec or the QXR. So that's why, even though you're going to see Wiru winning some of the more medium range gunfights, if it does get into the close range and movement becomes a really big factor, it gets a lot more difficult to win because you must hit every single one of those shots. Wiru hops on down though. He's going to be able to find Little B, make it a 2-piece right there. Huge feed for him once again. It looks like the lead is pretty similar to what it's been for the last little bit now, as Trovo Mayhem still up about 40 points. Trying to expand on it, haven't really been able to make it happen right there. Molly actually gets turned on by Yuji. Big shots for him. One player hopping in the top side. Nero struggling significantly right now. Only 9 kills on the board. But despite that, Trovo Mayhem still able to hold this 40-point lead.
Yeah, Trovo with a good position towards pushing us into a Game 5. P3 and P4 both largely went into their favor, so the fact that they were able to maintain their lead on a P1, P2 is looking pretty good for them, as well as 3 players on P3 side. You definitely expect them to have a good hold here. Tectonic gets the kill onto Just, making the rotation over, and Just, I mean, again, your team doesn't have anchor and you spawn behind the player that killed you. This is why I don't like the overcompensation of respawns here, but we will have to just live with it because the game is the game, and I can't tell you that you're not allowed to spawn behind your enemy. So.
If they want you to spawn behind the person that you killed, then do it. Or they killed you, doesn't even matter, you know? It's all just win your gunfights. Simple. Nice and easy.
Yeah, it was like, I think 2 weeks ago, we saw Little B, like the whole Trovo Mayhem got wiped going into basketball court on raid hardpoint, and Little B spawned on the point with a double kill in his iron sight. It's pretty wild, so.
Yeah, Little B tried to make the push around back right there, but was promptly greeted by 4 11D players. Didn't really stand much of a shot. I don't know how he spawned back there, but we'll probably take it. It's going to be Wiru winning the gunfight nonetheless. 30 kills on the board for him now. And 11D able to close the gap a little bit right here. It looks like Leon probably going to be able to hold spawns. No. not going to be able to hold spawns, and that could actually end up being disastrous for Trovo Mayhem right here. They're not going to have any type of hold on the rotation over to P4 right here. 11T, who has been really solid on their holds when they've been able to get control of them, immediately going to have control right here, and they have a solid setup, and it looks like they might actually be able to regain the lead right here if they play this correctly. Obviously, we're continuing to hold down those angles. Little B tries to push on in, gets one kill. Zai kills him with the cryo bomb. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Death by small metal object hitting you in the face. Definitely a tough way to go out, but man, 11D has turned this one around, and it looks like they've actually got a shot at closing this out in 4 games. Does look like Trovo Mayhem starting to group up a little bit. Leon's able to get one, but a full-on team wipe for 11T. Just like that, they're able to take the lead. Yuji's got a Pred missile, 235 points away from a cluster. Leon able to end the streaks there. But it's going to require a big turnaround for Trovo Mayhem, who has been falling apart in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, it's been a big comeback so far for the side of 11T. They now have a 13-point lead. This was a 60-point lead for Trovo Mayhem not too long ago. So definitely not a great position for them to be in, but still well within their grasp. They have control of P1. Looks like they're about to be able to take the lead. But
Zai gets a triple.
Huge break.
Oh, wow. Oh, he nearly turned on a Little B as well. What a play for him. Players trying to jump on the point for Trovo Mayhem. Obviously, there's no ability for 11D to be able to win it right here, but with the way things are going right now, things looking very much in their favor. Wiru, 38 kills on the board. Somehow nobody's spotting him over in the corner. We finally have Trovo Mayhem players that are going to peek the corner, be able to take him out and slow down that progress, but it seems like all the gunfights going the way of 11D right now. Yuji popping off again. Leon on the top side trying to do everything that he can. He's got 38 kills on the board. Down 25 points right now. Trovo Mayhem trying to gather some information as they look to make the push onto the hill. He's going to go ahead, spot Zai right there, and a triple in the feed is exactly what they need. Trovo Mayhem now occupying the point, throwing out as much of that utility as they can. Leon, even though he's concussed, still able to get the kill with the hip fire right there. It's Wiru up in the top side trying to cause issues, but he's going to go ahead and get beamed. Yuji trying to make the push on in as well. Trovo Mayhem not going to be able to win it on this point. Both teams are going to be really, really concerned with trying to get control of next. Niru wins a much-needed gunfight right there. He's been able to step up now. What?
He won 2 fights there that he should not have won.
Wow. What a game right here, and I mean, this is just so intense. It looks like 11D is going to be able to hop on the point. More points going in for Trovo Mayhem. They don't have control of spawns quite yet. They saw Just right there. Leon's pushing up. He's not able to win the gunfight. That's a massive gunfight kill for Just. That's going to give them control of spawns, but players pushing in behind. Trovo Mayhem's able to take control of spawns right here. They're only down by a couple of points. 11D doesn't realize that they've spawned behind. They're going to be able to push in right here. They win the gunfights. They're now ticking upwards just on the front side, but you now got 11D players spawning behind. There's no semblance of any type of pattern right here. Everybody's just spawning everywhere. 11D takes control. They've got 3, maybe 4 players on the point right now, and this could be enough to seal the deal. It's going to need some crazy gunfights for Trovo Mayhem, and I don't think they've got what it takes. Little B's going to drop off right there. There's just too many 11D players on the point. It looks like they're going to be able to close it out right here. And it's going to be a 250 to 231 win for them as they'll be moving on to the semifinals.
And that is exactly why I'm saying that hardpoint or anchor control is just so difficult with these respawns the way they are. You had Anchor clearly in favor of 11T, Just able to win the gunfight, the rest of his team able to win the gunfights, and then the entire team of Trovo Mayhem spawns on Just, gets the kill, wipes 11T, and then 11T spawned right behind Trovo Mayhem. And they were able to get the kills there, they were able to get back on point, and from there they were able to get a good hold, they were able to get the kills rotating uphill, and it was a battle against the clock for Trovo Mayhem. They couldn't safely get into point. And that's going to be 11T taking the 3-1 win in what was an amazing series between these two fantastic teams.
Yep, massive performance for Weird right there, who we talked about being the search and destroy specialist, coming in at hardpoint, dropping 48 kills with the ASM-10, which we haven't really seen used pretty much at all over the last season of Mobile Mayhem, but phenomenal performance out of him right there to secure the win for 11T, and they will be moving on to the semifinals, where they will be facing off against Zygnus. Wait, map DQ?
Uh-oh.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Um.
Okay, B, we need more information on that.
I'm.
FTQ for who? FTQ because of what?
Oh, is it Zai suicide-nating? I saw that in the feed, and I was okay. That's what I thought. I saw that in the feed, but I wasn't watching Zai when it happened.
I mean, was it?
So basically, because of how stupid the spawns are, in hardpoint you can actually gain an advantage in rotating by whenever the new hardpoint pops, you can suicide nade and it will automatically spawn you on next.
Oh no! Yikes! Oh, chat's already cheering 11T away, and that's
Yeah, I kind of thought that might have been what happened, but I wasn't watching him, so I wasn't gonna say anything about it. I noticed it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what happened. I didn't know if he just like threw a nade and it bounced off a wall he didn't expect it to, or what. But that's a genius respawn tactic for.
Oh yeah, I use it all the time in
against
ranked.
the rules. It is against the rules in Mobile Mayhem. So, good catch on the admin there, and that's a little unfortunate for Levity. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Because Trovo Mayhem got a spawn that they shouldn't have got, and then 11T got the spawn back that they shouldn't have got. So I don't know. I'm excited to see Game 5. This is not the way I wanted to see it, but
yeah. Oh, chat's gonna be really mad when they catch up.
Chat's gonna be super tilted.
Zim,
we may need a translation for that, by the way. Oh, Zim's not here. B, can you tell Zim we need a translation?
I'm assuming he's probably talking. No, he's not talking to the teams. I don't know where Zim is.
He is. He jumped into 11T and then he just moved down to Mayhem as well.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Yep, and now he's out of both and probably coming back here in a second. Actually, probably not, because he doesn't sit in the channel when Trovo Mayhem plays, so. Yep,
yeah.
He's getting in. Oh, God. Oh, it's starting to get to chat. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Bobby, where's the ninja headband? Sleep with it on. I'll go grab it real quick.
That's almost as bad as getting DQ'd for getting a VTOL. Hey, so Zim, we were wanting to see if you could translate to chat. What was it?
Where?
Just in chat, so the Spanish-speaking community understands what happened.
Okay, hold on. I'll type it.
Appreciate you.
All right. It looks like we are going to be playing Game 5. It's going to be Raid, Search, and Destroy. Zim is typing an explanation in chat in Spanish. But for people who are confused, basically, suicide nading is banned in all forms in Trovo or in Mobile Mayhem. So effectively, what one of the players for 11T did is something that I do in ranked all the time, which is whenever you're in one of those spawns where you're gonna spawn like all the way across the map. So P3 over to P4 on Summit, you can do the same thing on just about any spawn on Crossfire. You can do it for most of the spawns on Crash. Basically, as soon as the new hardpoint pops, you basically suicide nade and you'll automatically spawn all the way across the map and get a free rotation. So suicide nading is banned in all forms. You're not allowed to do it because obviously, I mean, it shouldn't be banned in that capacity if the spawns were actually working properly, but because there is a way to manipulate the spawns, because of that, it will be a DQ for map 4, and it will be us going to game number 5.
Yeah, and in chat, I think we can stop clowning 11T for it. They made a mistake. It happens, and we'll go into a game 5. So it's not a big deal. We're getting there. We do have players loading into our search and destroy on raid.
Chat's asking for proof. I don't have the proof, but we have admins that were spectating, and I'm assuming Zim probably went and talked to the teams.
Spectating. Zim wasn't spectating.
Well, B was.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that Zim doesn't. He's not in the lobbies. He's not in the voice chat for the Trovo Mayhem games. So.
Well, yeah, I saw that clip, but we don't have the actual clip of him. We just have the clip of the feed, right?
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Brian's hyped for the head fan. All right. Well, we got we are underway. Search and destroy. Game number 5. And the pressure is on for both of these teams. A must win to move on. Zai with the sniper in hand. Leon's going to find first blood right here. A couple players waiting for them over on basketball court. We got Tectonic holding things down. No surprise. He's got the LK out. Trying to get eyes. Wally still making his way up toward Modern. Zai's actually going to sneak across with the sniper. Tectonic not able to hit the shots right there. One player dropping for each team. Little B not able to find anybody over toward top of steps, and it looks like the full counter rotation going to go in for 11T right here. Usually still sitting back. They haven't pushed all the way up. Obviously, we're with the bomb in hand. Is the player that you do have to keep an eye on for the pace of 11T, but Tectonic going to spot a couple players right there. He's going to get the frag onto Wally. It's going to be a one-man advantage once again. Shots coming from up top. Molly's going to find another, make it a two-man advantage. Wiru takes out Tectonic, but gets traded out by Molly, and now Zai all by himself. What a quick scope right there, but Niru hops on through, gets the refrag, and that will be a 1-0 lead for Trovo Mayhem.
Yeah, 1-0 lead. They didn't win the last search and destroy, but Wiru came really heavily online in that last matchup, so we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out for that. Typically speaking, when he does well in the game leading into a search and destroy, it's even better for him in the search and destroy. So we will have to see. I think what he ended that last game with, what, 38 or 48 kills, something like that. It ended with an 8.
That was a filthy slide peek from Zai, and that's going to be a big first kill for 11T right there.
48.
And that's going to allow them to get the plant, but Leon's picked up the sniper, I think, and he's pulled it out. Gets the frag on to Zai right there. Justice going to drop as well. Wiru's picked it up. What a shot by him onto Leon. That's going to be still a one-man advantage for Trovo Mayhem, but definitely a lot more manageable for 11D, but players collapsing. What shots from Wiru, but Yuji's weak. He doesn't have a whole lot to work with, and Tectonic is there. his trusty LK by his side. Going to be able to find the frag again. A strong start right there for Trovo Mayhem as they move up to a 2-0 lead.
2-0 lead. Definitely wouldn't surprise me if this one goes to a game 11 again. The last search and destroy between these two teams was just absolutely phenomenal. All the way to around 11 that wasn't convincingly won by either side. Little B gets a huge pick onto Wally there.
Oh, it's about to go down over here. Tectonic beats the corner. Zai's right there. Big frag for him. Nero dies to his own nade. Oh, unfortunate for Trovo Mayhem, but still, they've got the man advantage right here. Players all over that top side. Zai's going to take shots right there. Just pushes up, tries to hit the shots. He's going to be able to take out Molly. That puts it into a 2v2 right there. Hops on into bank room. Zai slowly creeping his way up toward the top. Pre-fires the corner, but there's nobody there. Leon takes shots. He's only 4 HP, but not able to get the kill. Leon's going to drop right there. Suddenly, it's Little B all by himself. He's down on poolside. We do have the bomb in the hands of Zai, and he's trying to decide if he wants to go B or A. Little B still waiting down by pool, but he's not going to have eyes on the planter right here. It means it's going to be a free plant for 11T. And I think he actually got a hit marker onto just right there, but obviously the bomb still going to go down for 11T. Little B saw somebody's shoulder right there. Saw a gun swap as well, but they're going to go ahead and bag things up. Not trying to peek any corners unnecessarily, and he's going to see what he can do with the sniper in hand. Both players on the inside of that cubby. We've seen things go wrong in multiple situations, and that's one going wrong already. Checks the wrong corner just with the jump shot, hits his shots, and that's going to be 11D winning round 3 to move things closer to a 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great turnaround for 11T there to try to stop the momentum that Trovo had off of the 2 wins. And, you know, again, this is going to boil a lot down to the mental game. Currently, it's Zai, Justin, Wiru with 3 kills apiece on the side of 11T. Yuji and Wally, however, struggling down at 1 and 0. Meanwhile, just about everybody on the side of Trovo Mayhem with 3 kills. Neru has 2. Leon getting a big kill on Zai there. Zai not able to land the quickscope. Several kills flood in by Trovo Mayhem, but just with a big double kill. Not quite enough for them to save the round, and a 3-1 lead is now going to go over to the side of Trovo Mayhem. Definitely hoping to see 11T come back alive a little bit here. Just was really killing it in the last search and destroy as well, and he is here in the search and destroy on raid as well. 5 kills on the board for him, tied up with Emali with 5 as well for Trovo Mayhem. And that is going to really kind of help 11T have an edge, but again, Yuji down at 1, Wally down at 0. Definitely need to step it up. We don't want to see 11T go out this way. And with a really aggressive, like, mid poolside rotation, 11T are going to get caught out a little bit there as 3 kills come in for Trovo Mayhem. Yuji getting his 2nd kill on the board is going to help there. Little B, brilliant quick scope there to pick up the kill onto Just. It's now just Yuji alive. Does get the kill on Little B. Obviously going to get the call out to his team, and it's going to be Leon and Tectonic there picking up the kill to here round number 4. Now switching sides for the side of Trovo Mayhem to be on offense.
And I see, so obviously Neru died to his own nade in Search and Destroy. I'm assuming all the DQ spam in chat is trolling, but in case it's not, obviously suicide nading as a means of gaining an advantage. I don't think Wiru gained Nero gained an advantage on that one. I can check with my admins on that, but I don't think that that's a DQ. We're going to continue to play this one out as Zai finds a big one right there to even things up a little bit. But he's going to get taken out by Nero right there. Leon finds another. Just going to be left all by himself. Things not looking great for 11D and Little B. The quick scopes are on point right now as he's going to be able to find kill number 8 right there. And that's going to be Trovo Mayhem 1 round away from closing things out right here. I'm really interested in this move by 11 to bring Wally in for the last couple of games. Obviously, no disrespect to him, but it feels like Danny Gogu had been having a really solid game so far, and they just kind of pulled him out, subbed in Wally. He's not picked up a single kill in Search and Destroy right now. And right now, things just not looking good as Little B finds yet another first blood. He's got 9 kills on the board right now. We do have the bomb in the hands. Oh my gosh, he's just not missing. 10 kills on the board, trying to see if he can find a wall bang. While he's going to slide on over to the point. Is able to find his first kill right there, but immediately shut down by Nero. And wow, what a dominant search and destroy for Trovo Mayhem. And DQ or not, they are going to take the win and move on to the semifinals up against Cygnus Main.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a big search and destroy for the side of Trovo Mayhem. I definitely think probably the DQ and what was a big comeback for 11T in the hardpoint probably had a bit of an impact as far as the mental fortitude for them moving into the search and destroy. Again, we're not really having the breakout performance that we normally see out of him. 3-7-2. Definitely a player I look forward to seeing come back in our next season of Mobile Mayhem. But as you mentioned, Bobby, that is going to be Trovo Mayhem moving on to the semifinals. They'll be facing off against Cygnus Esports, correct? Cygnus Elite?
Yeah, Cygnus Elite will be the team. So that means that the final bracket, as we do get ready to move into Thursday, is going to be Tribe Gaming up against Nova Invictus and Cygnus Main up against Trovo Mayhem. Both of those definitely going to be beauties. I mean, I'm just excited to watch Coach Image again, you know? I'm excited to see the man, the myth, the legend take on the #1 team in Mobile Mayhem in Tribe Gaming and see if he can pull something out and maybe... I'm not going to say it'd be a miracle if they made it to the finals, but they are definitely a big-time underdog, as obviously Tribe has only lost 1 match in the entire past 2 seasons of Mobile Mayhem.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost maps both seasons. They lost the Search and Destroy to Cygnus Black both in our last season as well as this season, but you're correct. Cygnus Esports or Cygnus Elite is the only team to actually take the win over Tribe in and not really in the fashion we expected them to either. It was the hard point and the domination. So definitely something to consider there. It definitely spells to be a great final. No matter what happens, no matter which one of these teams move on Thursday's games, we should have a fantastic finals for you guys, which will be on the following Tuesday. And then we'll have the All-Stars on Friday of that week. And you definitely don't want to miss the All-Stars specifically this season. There's money on the line this time thanks to Fnatic and OnePlus. So I definitely expect the All-Star game to be taken a little bit more seriously as far as the drafting goes. And it should be a fun one for sure. I think we have Sun and who else are the captains?
Sun and Triz are going to be the captains.
Sun and Triz, that's correct.
Yep. But that is going to be it for the stream. Appreciate you guys watching. Excited for the games that we do have happening on Thursday. They should be super fun to watch. Obviously, right now the top 4 teams in the game going to be going at it. And as always, thank you to Fnatic and OnePlus for adding on to the prize pool. Thank you to Trovo for hosting Mobile Mayhem in general. That's going to be it for the stream. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, follow, and we will catch you guys in the next one.